right, welcome back after the lunch break. And while you were enjoying lunch, I was doing the scoring for our game. And the good news is we have 3 tables that are the clear winners. Yeah? And which table the 3 winners are, I will tell you later. Oh, yeah. Because we need to first understand more about tips, yeah? And then you also understand why you hired certain people and why you didn't hire other people. Yeah? So give me a little bit of time to explain a bit about tips first. And now, of course, you all give me a very hard time, yeah, because it's after lunch, yeah, and I also need to talk a little bit about how tips was evolved, which is a bit theoretical, yeah. So, if you see anybody falling asleep, then say, "Hey, she is falling asleep," or "Hey, he is sleeping," and then you will get an action tag, and then we need to do some group activity to avoid that people fall asleep. Good, all right. So, do we have any HR manager here? Any HR manager? Any HR manager? Okay. Come to this floor. Come to the stage. Yeah? You can get an action tag. Yeah? Or you can stay where you are. Yeah. So your job is to find. We are now need to invent. Yeah. We are in the time where we need to. Every industry gets reinvented. Yeah. And we have here candidates who also apply for a job similar like before. And we are looking for somebody who is creative, who is agile, maybe somebody who is digital, a digital person. Again, this is something. Yeah. And you have here candidates. Yeah. So who is a creative person? What would you say? Yeah. Who is a creative person? Anybody who will say is really a digital person, looks digital? Yeah? You're a digital person, yeah? But from these people here, anybody? Yeah? Maybe the one with the red tie, yeah? So, yeah. Anybody who looks very agile? Yeah? Agile? Yeah? Maybe the one with orange, yeah? Yeah? Right. Okay. Of course, what I'm doing now here, similar like with this game before, can we really tell, looking at externalities, at how people dress, who is a digital person, creative person, agile person? No. Yeah? But many times people do this. Stereotypically, we form intuitive judgments, and often we are wrong. Yeah? So, what is the next best thing that we can do to find out what a person is really all about? It's doing a personality test or doing a cognitive test, yeah, similar like tips, yeah, and that's basically which helps us to understand more about what is going on inside the person's head. Yeah? Now, there are a lot of profiling tests already out there, yeah? And some of you may know some of these tests. Yeah? For example, there's a test called Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, which has 16 types. You might be an ENFJ, for example, if you take this test. Yeah. Anybody knows this test? Has taken the test? Okay, what are you? You can't remember. Yeah? You know? Yeah. Okay, it's also. Okay, do you remember? Okay, good. Extrovert, yeah? So they have 4 dimensions: extroversion versus introversion, intuition versus sensing, thinking versus feeling, judging versus perceiving. Yeah? So that's the oldest test that is out there. Many companies use it actually. It's over 80 years old, yeah? And has certain advantages, certain disadvantages. If I say she is an ENFP and you don't know the concept, you say, so what? What does it mean? Yeah? So it's a well-known concept. At the same time, it has also some disadvantages, and I will tell you more about this in a moment. Yeah? There's a test called Herman's Brain Dominance Instrument, HBDI, which uses brain theories to do a cognitive test putting people into 4 quadrants: facts, future, feelings, form. Yeah? Then there's a very crazy looking test like Enneagram. Yeah? And I have tried very hard to understand how they construct it, and I have not been able to really understand it yet, and nobody could really explain it to me. But anyway, so they profile people into 9 types. So you might be a type 3, or you might be a type 5. Yeah? And yeah, that's another test. Yeah? Another popular test is called DISC, yeah, which stands for Dominance, Influence, Conscientiousness, and Steadiness. Yeah? And they profile people whether you're more active or reactive, or whether you're more task-oriented or more people-oriented. Yeah? And so on. Yeah? So there are many more tests, and for time reasons, we skip this. So overall, I read somewhere that there are over 2,000 tests, yeah, that people have created that you could theoretically use. Yeah? Now, you may ask, why TIPS? Yeah? Because TIPS, I created TIPS, yeah? And why was I not happy with one of the other tests? The answer is, I was experimenting for over 15 years with other tests, yeah? And there was always something which I thought was missing, or where I thought was maybe not completely right, or something that was incomplete. And I was thinking about how to fix that, and then one day I, had this TIPS map popping up, and I thought, wow, TIPS, that's really cool, and let's do it, let's create it. Yeah? And then basically we created this TIPS test. Yeah? Now, again, TIPS is a new profiling method that I believe is better suited for our dynamic environment in the 21st century that we are facing at the moment. I created it to manage the people side of innovation, but later on I found out that it's really a good method also for talent management. Yeah? And TIPS is based on the assumption that everybody basically can contribute to corporate and innovation performance, but people do it in their different styles. Yeah? And as an individual, you can find out what are your styles to think, work, interact, live, and innovate. And as a company, you can find out what kind of talent profiles you have in your team and how you can best use them to produce good results. Yeah? So again, we are all have our own style, and that's okay. Yeah? It's good. That's the spice of life, that we are all different. Yeah? And we need to know how we can work really well together. That's what we want to achieve with TIPS. Yeah? Now, why are these methods useful? No? Albert Einstein said once, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Yeah? Clearly, a fish needs to swim in the water, a monkey needs to climb a tree, a bird needs to fly in the sky, and each of us has also a certain environment, a certain ecosystem where we can naturally perform well. Yeah? And with TIPS, we want to help you understand basically what is this talent that you have. Yeah? And so far, TIPS is something that gives you greater awareness. First of all, as an individual, greater self-awareness about what are your styles and what makes you tick. But then also, if you're working in a team, you understand what all the other people in the team like to do and how they tick. Yeah? For a human resources manager or human capital manager, you gain greater awareness of the different talent types in the different departments, and an innovation manager can also understand how to use people for innovation projects in a meaningful way. Yeah? So again, awareness is what this method gives us, and this one we skip for time reason. What I want to tell you is why was I not satisfied with all the other methods? Yeah? And some things that bugged me, for example, with this test Myers-Briggs was that I had, when I did this with my students at one university, we were asked also to take Myers-Briggs, yeah? And somebody got this results. Yeah? Extroversion 51%, introversion 49%. Intuition 51%, sensing 49%. Thinking 51%, feeling 49%. Judging 51%, perceiving 49%. Yeah? So according to this test now, this person was coming out as an ENTJ. And from that moment onwards, everybody will put a label on this person, ENTJ. Yeah? And will say, hey, he is an ENTJ. But can we really be confident that this person with these scores is an ENTJ? The answer is no. Yeah? On a different day, maybe this person would have answered some questions differently and would come out with a completely different result. Yeah? So such a result is too close to call, but nevertheless, in Myers-Briggs and many other profiling types, you get boxed in, and from that onward, you are carrying this label with you. Yeah? And everybody will judge you based on this. Yeah? So in TIPS, we cured this by having a profile for people that are really balanced, and I will tell you more about this later. Yeah? Another thing that really drove me nuts is that most of these concepts have a binary approach. Binary means black and white, 0, 1. Now, what's wrong with that? Yeah? I tell you, using my own example, yeah? I took this test also at this one university in various years, and when I took it first in 2004, I came out for this one dimension, introversion versus extroversion, as an introvert, 52%. Then 2005, extrovert, 53%. Then 2006, introvert, 51%. 2010, extrovert, 52%. 2012, extrovert, 54%. So am I now an introvert or an extrovert? The answer is, I'm both. Yeah? Yeah? So I can stand one day in front of you and really run this workshop in an energetic way and be very extroverted. And then I have another day where I sit the whole day at my desk and write on a book or in a section of a new book. Yeah? So that's basically, there are people who are both. Yeah? And in TIPS, we have, for the different styles, we have not only 2 expressions, we have 3 expressions. So you may either, for example, you may either be a figure thinker or a fantasy thinker or a figure and fantasy thinker. Yeah? And in my interaction style, for example, I'm a case also of 2 expressions, fact and feeling. Yeah? So that's another thing which is special about TIPS. Yeah? And basically, when I created TIPS, I used psychometric instruments that are around for a long time and used certain elements of it. And at the same time, I added a second layer to it, which helps you to understand innovation and change, which are the TIPS, related to the TIPS spaces. Yeah? And that's something which I'm going to introduce to you now. So that's the theory. And now we are going to talk about how TIPS is constructed. Yeah? And we have overall 6 features. One feature that starts at all other TIPS bases. Yeah? So we have 4 bases, and what the bases are, I tell you in a moment. Then we also have 4 styles. Yeah? And that's something we do after the bases. We use the 4 bases and the 4 styles to feed this questionnaire that all of you have taken. Yeah? And we also use it to create a profiling map that we have also put onto the floor here in the break. Yeah? So they provide the coordinates. Yeah? Once somebody has completed a survey, we can compute what is their innovator profile, which is their talent profile, if you like. We can position this person on the map, and we can also say what is their style to innovate. So that's basically how it's constructed. And now we want to briefly talk about these different elements. Yeah? In TIPS, we have 4 bases. Yeah? And originally, when I came up with this label TIPS, this acronym TIPS, it comes from these 4 bases. Yeah? And TIPS stands for Theories, Ideas, People, Systems. Yeah? So the first base is the theories base. And some people are attracted to environments that are very rational, that are very data and fact-driven, that are very evidence-based. Yeah? And they value the truth, they value logical reasoning, and so on. And these are then people who are attracted maybe to a place like a university. Yeah? So very, very rational theories people. Other people are different. Yeah? They are attracted to the idea space. Yeah? And at the idea space, you are all about new ideas, progress, change, yeah? Coming up with maybe some breakthroughs. Yeah? So it's all about changing things and driving things, progressing into the future. Yeah? The third base is the people base. Yeah? Some people are very interpersonal. They value other people. They are very relationship oriented. They nurture relationships. They are very caring. Yeah? And this is basically this theories base, this people base. And the last base is the systems base. Yeah? So people who are attracted to the systems base value a more formal environment that is focusing on efficiency, on basically having efficient processes. They like to preserve the status quo. They like an order that is more formal, more rules-based, yeah, more traditional, yeah, and basically, yeah, go along with the established status quo. Good. So in tips, we say that all of us are attracted to one or two bases typically. Yeah? And let's look at two examples. We have one person here. This is a famous entrepreneur, Walt Disney. Yeah? You can see it with a Mickey Mouse, and he is somebody who was an ideas person, yeah? An ideas man. Yeah? While this person here, I'm not sure whether anybody has an idea who is this. Warren Buffett, yeah, good, Warren Buffett. He is in between two bases. He is in between the theories base and the systems base. Yeah. Good, so we are, normally, if we have more time, we play a game, and we have a few, not so many people, we have a lot of people here, which is called the social cycles game, and basically these, there are 4 roles: workers, cops, policemen, scholars, and entrepreneurs, yeah, and this is also linked to the 4 tips bases, yeah, and this can help you understand how change unfolds, yeah. So we spoke about, before the break, about these technology waves, and each wave unfolds according to a certain pattern, yeah, that links to these bases. Yeah. So first of all, we have an established status quo, yeah, so there are big companies, big corporations who rule their markets, yeah, and everything is static, and then there is a change. There is a new technology coming out of the theories base. Yeah? In 1990, there was something called the World Wide Web, which was developed at universities. Yeah? And these academics at the theories base, they are not really particularly risk-friendly. So the idea is picked up by entrepreneurs, people maybe like Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, yeah, and so on, who then turn this idea into a new product, yeah, selling books online, yeah, and then they basically launch this, and with the people base, they help this getting this off. Yeah. And at some point in time, 1995, then the internet really took off, and then also the other companies started to pay attention, but they did it very slowly, and they couldn't really catch up with these tech companies anymore. Some companies, like Kodak, got out of business. They were creatively destroyed because they were not able to shift, to let go of their old products and hung on to their established Polaroid films, yeah, or Kodak films. Yeah? And although they developed also digital photography, they never really monetized it. Yeah? And then we have the year 2020, and now companies like Google or Apple or Amazon are part of the establishment. And then in 2022, there is a new thing coming out. OpenAI launches ChatGPT, and the whole thing starts again. Yeah? So we will basically see the same thing happen in the next coming years. Yeah? So again, these bases can help you understand how technological social changes unfold, and this happens every couple of decades, and that's one of the ways, basically, one of the elements that we track with tips. Who is attracted to what kind of base? Good. And this one we skip. One thing that is interesting before we move to the next feature is that different people at different bases focus on a different period in time. Yeah? So systems people, they are focusing on the now, and they often look back into the past. Yeah? They value, for example, past traditions. Yeah? People at the people's base, they are living in the now. Yeah? They are very present moment oriented. Yeah? Then people at the theory space, they cover the entire time spectrum, and people at the idea space cannot help but thinking about the future. They always think ahead. Yeah? They always think about what's coming next. Yeah? And that's something which is also kind of interesting. Good. Now it's time for anybody spot somebody who fell asleep? Good. Okay, we survived the most theoretical part of this day, and now we come up with the next activity, which is a game where I need my helpers, because we will invite some of you to come to the stage, yeah, and to help us with this exercise. Yeah? We are doing the tips lineup game, and you see here a big line, yeah? And then we need to, you need to get a mic probably and call the people onto the stage that are helping. Yeah. Can we have a second microphone? No? So we are playing this game to understand the different tip styles. Huh? Good, all right. And Tusita, my lovely co-facilitator, will now read the names, yeah?
Right, I'm going to read out the names. So when you do, name is read out, our team will give you a small slip of paper with your scores on it. Eranti, Premaratna.
Maybe you come here.
Yeah.
Maybe you come here, and then they can step onto the stage, yeah? Come
Minduli Velagedara.
Yeah. Good. All right.
So take this small strip of paper and get on the stage. Minduli Velagedara.
Okay.
Yogi Lokhuman. Ruvini Karyavasam. Saransari. Chitranjali Disanayaka. Come. Archana is also there. Sanjeevani Sulochana Edri Surya.
Welcome. Hello. Thank you.
Sanjeevani is not here?
You were volunteered by me.
Ruvini Nanayakara. Nirasha Sakuntala. Manori Karunaratna. Thinu Senadira.
The stage is longer, but it's okay. We will.
Lakshika Sonali Gamage. Okay. Kanchana Senani Pereira. Kanushana Nakara.
Maybe we
Kanusha is okay. Himali Madhusingha. Melina Jaman. Adi Likwal.
So we put it on the floor, and then you can just find your. Everybody gets some paper slip with your scores, and then you can just pick it up. Yeah? That's faster. Yeah? Good. All right, so have a look.
Okay. Dimutu Ranasingha. Binuri Aryaratna. Please come forward.
Okay.
Jani Senanayaka.
We have the same orange, yeah? Almost the same orange, yeah? That's very good. Good color choice, yeah?
Lalanti Pashena. Asha Das. We have this paper
we
left.
have enough space. Let's see. Yeah?
Okay.
We can manage. Yeah?
Ranga
Good.
Hevavasam.
I thought the stage is a bit bigger, otherwise.
Ruantika
yeah. But that's
Pereira.
okay.
Nadisha Danavala Vithana. No. Sahasra Atukorala and Sanduni Nape Vitanage. Nape Vitanage.
Okay, I think we are good to go.
Yeah, there are two people whose name.
That's okay, then, yeah. Good, all right, thank you. Can we have a big applause for our players for the lineup game, the tips lineup game? Wonderful, good. All right, so thank you for volunteering. Of course, all of you will get an action tag, so we later on need to have action tags ready once they go down, that we give them the action tags, yeah? And we are now learning about the tip styles, which is the second feature of tips. Yeah? And you see here we have this line on the floor. Yeah? So this is 0, and then we have here going up into this direction, yeah? And here going up into that direction. Yeah? And we want to line up later on based on the scores that we have. Yeah? And you are either on this side, or you're on the other side, or some of you, for certain activities, might have a 0, and if you have 0, you stand here. Yeah? Of course, we will have also always one person who has the highest score, and this will be our styles champion for the respective activity, okay? Also on this side, there will be a styles champion, yeah? And that's something which we will see who will be the styles champion. If you have a 0 or you are a styles champion, you get 1 extra action tag. Good, all right. Ready, let's talk about the 4 tip styles. We have 4 tip styles: a style to think, a style to work, a style to interact, and a style to live. And we start with a thinking style. Look at on your paper slip. If you are figure, you go to this side of the line. If you are fantasy, you go to that side of the line. Yeah? If you are 0, you go into this white figure. This is fantasy. Fantasy, everybody fantasy here? Yeah? Good. And then based on your scores, you could need to see if you are, let's say, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, up to 9, you are here. If you are a higher number, you go up there. And then there's one person who has the highest number. Yeah? So you need to check your score. 18, you go up here. Go here. Okay, good. All right. Anybody 0? No 0 here. What is your number? 8. Okay, you can come a bit here, a bit here. You? 10. Okay, you can keep a big of a gap. What is your number? 4?
14.
20? 12? 8. Okay, so between you we make a little gap. Okay, good. All right, good. All right. So now here we have our lineup for this activity. Yeah? So figure thinkers are people who are more quantitative. Yeah? They like to work with numbers. They prefer to think analytically and to also think step by step. Yeah? So you prefer to have a sequential way of thinking. Yeah? And these are the figure thinkers. On the other hand, we have fantasy thinkers, who is all about using creative thinking, yeah? Who are more qualitative, who are more about, not so much about numbers, but more about stories or pictures. Yeah? So they also think in a more radiant way. So they basically collect a lot of stimuli and then connect the dots into many solutions. Yeah? So here you deduce a solution step by step while you basically connect the different dots into elements. Yeah? And then here in the middle we have figure and fantasy thinker who equally are comfortable with both styles, yeah? Who can do both. Yeah? Now let's go to our champions. Yeah? So we have a figure champion. What is your number? 22. Yeah? Good. And we have here 30. 30. Get the shield. Yeah? And what is your favorite Microsoft program that you work mostly in? Excel. Excel. Of course, Excel. How about you? Illustrator or presentation software, yeah? Okay, good, yeah? So again, these people use PowerPoint or Adobe software. These people use Excel, yeah? And you see the differences, yeah? Good. Now we need to get anybody in the middle? No, good. Then you come here, the two champions. We take a photo. Where is our photo taker? No photo taker? Here, good, okay. So you need to make this. Okay, show you.
This?
Okay. Big applause for our styles champion and for this image. Now we move on to the next style. Yeah? And the next style is work style, brain versus brawn. And if you are brain, you go here. And if you are brawn, you go there. If you are zero, you go to the white line. Yeah? So brain goes here. And I take the card. Thank you. And I take the card. Good, thank you. Good. What's your score? 22. You get brain. Good, okay. Okay. What is your score? 2. So can we make a gap between 9 and 9? We make a gap, yeah? What is your number?
14.
14, okay. 16. Who has the highest number? Okay, get this one. Okay, good. All right, good. So the next style is the work style, yeah? And this is basically what kind of work tasks and projects we care to work with. And we start with a brain worker. So brain workers are people who are very big picture, yeah? So they have their heads in the clouds, yeah? They are, you say, always working on some abstract conceptual things, yeah? And the brain workers, they enjoy also thinking and scheduling their day in longer intervals, yeah? So you, for example, say, okay, today I want to focus on one big thing and make progress on one big thing, yeah? So these are the brain workers. Brawn workers are very different, yeah? You like to focus on the details, yeah? So you are about small picture, yeah? And also you tend to have typically a to-do list, yeah? Which you want to go through every day and get a lot of things done, yeah? So you get a lot of things done, yeah? Those people here, they maybe make progress on some one big thing, yeah? But you make a lot of smaller things get this done, yeah? And also the brawn workers, they schedule in different intervals. You think maybe in 1 hour or so, then you have a lot of meetings during the day and a lot of shorter interactions, yeah? So different way to schedule time, yeah? Good. People here in the middle, who is in the middle? What is the number? 4. 10, okay, you need to make a gap, so you make a gap between 9 and 10, and here, 4, yeah? So you are both brain and brawn, yeah? So which means you are more tactical, yeah? You can do both. So on some days you get a lot of things done. On some things you work on projects that require a bit more time, and you are more flexible, yeah? Brain and brawn. Good. Now we need to get a photo from our work champions, brain and brawn. Can we take another photo? Okay. And yay! Can we give people also an applause? Yes, why not? Yeah? Good. All right, I take this and I take the card. And we move to the next style. And the next style is the interaction style. Interaction style. And we have 2 styles, fact, feeling, and then fact and feeling. So if you are feeling, you go here. If you are fact, you go there. And if you are somewhere in the middle, you go into the middle. And maybe someone of you has also 0. Yeah? Yeah. Good, so let's see. Oh, look at, we have a lot of people on this side. Do you recognize this? Yeah. And only a few people here. Yeah. And good. All right. Good. So fact and feeling relates to how we like to communicate with others, how we make a case, yeah? And also how we make decisions. Yeah? And some people are doing this based on the facts. Yeah? So they're looking, for example, at numbers of a balance sheet or of a P&L and say, okay, this is what we need to do. Yeah? This is basically what the numbers tell us, and there is no way of arguing against it. Yeah? And on the other hand, we have feeling people, yeah, who maybe also look at these numbers, but then they say, oh, but how do I really feel about this? Yeah? And how does this affect other people who are involved here? Yeah? And they then basically decide more based on their feeling, and they are communicating, they are much more emotional in the way they communicate, yeah? And that's basically the feeling style. Yeah? So here in the middle, we have people who are fact and feeling, yeah? Who can do both. Yeah? So who look at the facts, but also think about, okay, how do I feel about this? What does this mean for other people involved? And so on. Yeah? And this is, again, the interaction style, yeah? And that's our third tips style. Yeah? I need to give out our cards, and I think we have some zeros here also, correct? Do we have zeros? Pardon? 2? Anybody zero? Yeah. If you have zero, always you need to let me know, because you get also action tags. Yeah? Good. Okay, then can we take a photo? You want to take a photo or not? You take a photo. You're a feeling person. Yeah, we need to take a photo. Come on, you're a fact person. You don't care. Yeah, but okay. Can we have an applause again for our fact and feeling delegates? Thank you. Good. Okay. And then our last style is the lifestyle. And here we have two cases, which is form versus flow. Yeah? And if you are a form person, you go to this side of the stage. Yeah? If you are a flow person, you go to that side of the stage. And if you are in the middle, you go into the middle. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Good. So. Good. Anybody zero? Oh, you are zero. Good. All right. Okay. And then we have you here. Good. So we have a form champion. This is. You're two. You got both an action tag. You are doubled form champion, and this is for you again. Okay. Good. So form versus flow looks at what kind of world do we want to live in? What kind of company or environment do we want to work in? Do we feel comfortable in? Yeah? And people who are form people, you are very formal, yeah? Which means you like to work and live in an environment where everything is clearly regulated, where there are clear guidelines, where maybe there is a clear time schedule that you can follow. Yeah? And you tend to be quite punctual. You tend to be also often, particularly people at the outside, get angry if people don't respect the time, yeah? Because they are not really respecting you then also. Yeah? And this is the style of form people. Yeah? Flow people, in contrast, are very different. Yeah? So you like to freely go with the flow of life. Yeah? And you enjoy being very flexible. You enjoy maybe having different schedules on different days, yeah? Doing different things. Yeah? And if something comes up that is interesting, you say, oh, let's go for it. So, yeah? Because that's the style of flow people. Yeah? Now, flow people, you need to know, are people who like to take risks. Yeah? You are comfortable with risks, you understand. With greater freedom comes greater risk. Yeah? While form people are really focused on playing it safe, yeah? And being secure and keeping everything safe. Yeah? So that's the formal style. Yeah? Good. And that's basically the last style, flow versus form. Yeah? And can we take a photo so we have two people here, and you are in the 0. You can come in the middle. You come into the middle. Yeah. 3 zeros. Then we come all onto the photo. Yeah. Okay, come here. Okay, and then we have our. You need to hold it together. Okay, good. Yay. Thank you. Good. So all of you get an action tag, yeah? Also for being 0 or being the score champions. Yeah? Good. All right. And with that, big applause for all of our players. Make sure you collect all your action tag for this activity, and then you can sit down again. Huh? Thank you. So you can take your action tags. We can talk about this later. It can change, but only in a certain way. It's a small way. Huh? Good. Good. Got your action tags for the general activity, yeah? Also. Good. Let's look at our 2 example cases that we have, how it comes out in this case. Walt Disney, his thinking style, he was clearly a fantasy thinker who used his imagination to create his stories and create Disney World and so on. Yeah? Walt Disney was a brain thinker. Working on an animated movie is a big conceptual project, takes quite some time. So that's brain style. His interaction style was fact and feeling. Of course, his stories he created using his feeling energy, but then he was also a businessman and once got bankrupted, so he needed to also look at the facts to stay in business. And his lifestyle was flow, going with the flow. While Warren Buffett is very different. Warren Buffett is, of course, a quantitative figure thinker who analyzes investments and looks at the numbers and computes what is a good investment. Warren Buffett is, in his work style, brain and brawn. When he makes an investment, he reads the financial report, first the strategy section, and then the financial part, and basically takes everything in to make a decision. Yeah? How does Warren Buffett make an investment decision? Based on the facts, based on the numbers. Yeah? And he is somebody who is very formal, and practices a more formal style. So again, everybody, or most of the people, sometimes you are here, but you have done also for most of the profiles, you also one time end up in the middle where you have both, like in this case, Warren Buffett. Good. So this was the tip styles. We have 4 tip styles. And then we use our questionnaire to determine basically how you come out, and then also we use the questionnaire to decide how you end up in the tips profiling map. And in the break, we also created the tips profiling map here, put it on the floor, and you see here that we have our 4 bases: theories, ideas, people, systems, and we have also our 4 styles. So this is figure, this is fantasy. Here we have on the top, we have brain and brawn. Then this upper triangle here is fact. This lower triangle here is feeling. And then this triangle here is form. And the upper triangle here is flow. So all of these elements are represented on this map. And that's basically how this thing is decided or designed, and now we basically use the results of your questionnaire, of your answers, to decide what kind of profile you are. And in tips, we have 11 profiles. We have 4 profiles that sit on the corners of the tips map. There is a theorist here at the theory space. We have an ideator here. Then we have a partner down here, and a systematizer here. We have 6 profiles that are in between 2 bases, which is a conceptualizer up here, then we have a promoter here, then we have an organizer down at the bottom, we have a technocrat on the left side, and we have two profiles that go across. Yeah? We have a coach here between theories and people, and we have an experimenter between systems and ideas. Yeah? And we have a final profile which sits in the middle, which is an all-rounder. Yeah? Now, one question for me for one action tag. Yeah? Why do we have an all-rounder? We spoke about it before. Why do we have an all-rounder? Yeah? Yeah, okay. There we had before, I was talking about one thing that annoyed me. Yeah? We had this one case, 51-49, 51-49, 51-49. Yeah? And there is actually quite a number of people who are quite balanced. Yeah? And we don't want to put them wrongly into a profile that maybe isn't really reflecting them. Yeah? So that's why we have a neutral profile all-rounders. Yeah? And actually we have also quite a few all-rounders here in this group, yeah? Which is again good why we don't want to misclassify people. Yeah? You have a question or comment? Partner? Partner is down here, yeah? Good. Okay, so that's the overview. And what we want to do now is, first of all, we have a look at our two cases. So Walt Disney, he would profile as an ideator, and Warren Buffett is a technocrat, yeah? As an example of a technocrat. Good, and now we want to bring this to life and also find out who we have in the audience. Yeah? We are going to introduce the 11 tips profiles, and we have one, thanks very much, we have one company also who has a lot of delegates here and who was gracious enough to say, okay, we want to volunteer also to populate our tips profiling map so that we can see how this comes out. Yeah? And this is the company Kantar. Huh? Can we have all the delegates from Kantar come to the front, please? Yeah. And then you can stand here, and I will send you onto the tips map one by one. Yeah? But we will also have a chance for everybody else to get involved. Yeah? And for that, we need to have a second microphone. Yeah? Second microphone. Yeah, second microphone, be ready for...
We have.
Okay,
Dr. D, I have one.
Okay, good. All right, so then can we have a runner to run to the people who, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, one runner.
For the audience, is it?
Yeah, for the audience, yeah, good. All right, so and the first profile that we have is the theorist, yeah? And the question is, do we have any theorists in Kantar? The answer is yes. Okay, can we have a big applause? Huh? You can come here, and your position is here on top of the tips map. Yeah, so you can stand here inside where I stand. Go. Okay, good. You have two. Wow, good. So you are theorists. Yeah, and what are theorists all about? Yeah, theorists, life is all about evidence and the truth. Yeah, so you tend to be really evidence-based workers and managers. Yeah, so you look at what are the facts involved, yeah, and then you basically analyze what is the right thing to do. Yeah, you are good in really follow a very rational style of analyzing data. Yeah, and also you can make your case. Yeah, you can be argumentative. Also, if somebody tried to maybe bullshit you or so, you say no, hey, you can't do this with me. Yeah, and so these people have a very sharp intellect, yeah, and they call upon other people who try to basically have a flawed argument or take an intellectual shortcut. Yeah, that's something which you point out to these people. Yeah? Good. Can we have a big applause to our two theorists? Yeah? Good. Then I forgot something. We need to ask other people also to get involved. I will do this for the next time. Yeah? Now, the next profile are ideators. Do we have any ideators in Kantar? Oh my God, there are no ideators in Kantar. That's correct. Yeah? So, do we have any ideators in the floor? Can you all stand up who are ideators, please, that you can see each other? Yeah. These are birds of the same feather. Yeah, all the ideators here. Yeah. Take a look. Yeah. And anybody can tell me for one action tag what an ideator is all about? Anybody wants to share what an ideator is all about? Okay, you want to share? Anybody want to share?
Yeah. So creative thinking, and you don't kind of get into a box. You think out of the box.
Thinking out of the box,
yeah.
Creative thinking, thinking out of the box, yeah. And also, ideators are people who drive change. Yeah? So ideators are the change drivers. So life is all about ideas, innovation, and change. Yeah. So these people who are standing up now here are, you could call them progressive pioneers who like to change things. Yeah. Who come up with an idea and then also have the energy to try to bring this to life. Yeah? Ideators sometimes come across a little bit as rebellious or a bit off the wall. Yeah? They are basically having the unique talent to create something out of nothing. Yeah? So 0 to 1, that's the ideator game, yeah, and as you said, very creative and also very dynamic and change-oriented. Yeah. So big applause for our ideators here. Yeah. And you get, of course, one action tag. Yeah, we need to make sure that you get one action tag. Yeah. Good. All right, and then we move to the next profile, partner. Do we have a partner in Kantar? Must be you. Yeah. Good. All right. So we have quite a few partners here in our Kantar company. And any partners here in the audience, can you stand up also that you can see each other? Partners? Okay. Partners. Anybody want to share what partners are all about? What is special about partners? Anybody? Okay.
Yes. It's about more about people and relationships.
All about people and relationship. Exactly. Yeah. So partners' life is all about people and relationships. Yeah. And these are the people who bring heart and warmth and empathy and care into the cold world of business. Yeah. So partners tend to be people who have a lot of relationships. Yeah. And know a lot of people. And they are also very good in reading people. Yeah? So reading maybe facial cues, reading bodily cues, paying attention to how somebody says something, and then they know whether somebody telling the truth or not. Yeah. So they are very good also in sales. Yeah, and in basically paying attention to how to close a deal. Yeah, or close a sale. Yeah, and generally again. Their outstanding feature is if you guys have high IQ, you guys have high EQ, emotional intelligence. Yeah? And that's the profile with the highest emotional intelligence, the partner profile. Huh? Good. All right. Thank you for our partners also on the floor. And then we have the next profile, which is the systematizer. Yeah? Do we have any systematizers here? There are some systematizers, if I recall it correctly. You can step here to this corner. Yeah? Good. All right. Good. Systematizers. And in the audience, we have a lot of systematizers. Can you all stand up, please? Okay. A lot of systematizers. Good. All right. So what are systematizers all about? Anybody for an action tag want to share? Systematizers, anybody? Good. Nobody dares to share, but that's okay. Then I will share. So systematizers are all about system structured order and control. Yeah? So these are the people who are very reliable, yeah? Who are the, how can I say, dutiful members of a established company or organization, or also of society. Yeah? So these are people who diligently plow through their work, yeah, and get things done. Yeah? They are people who like to organize things, organize is the wrong word, who like to focus on efficiency and create efficient processes. Yeah? These are also people who track performance very well. Yeah? So you pay attention to the performance numbers, and they're also somehow paying attention what works, what doesn't work. They also pay attention who works and who doesn't work. And basically, then over time also they are often somehow moving up because they are very dutiful members of society, yeah? And company. Yeah? So these are the systematizers, and we move on to the next profile. Yeah? Which is the conceptualizer, which is up here on the TIPS map. And the question is, do we have any conceptualizer here in Kantar? No. Do we have any conceptualizer in the audience? The answer is no, but we've had one person yesterday, yeah, who was profiled last night, yeah, and who came out as a conceptualizer, and he is heading the National Innovation Agency, yeah, which is actually a conceptualizer job. Yeah? So that's one person at least who came out. But it's interesting, we are over 150 people, but no conceptualizer so far, until yesterday night. Yeah? Good. So conceptualizers are the people who are very good in basically taking theories and then turning them into conceptual tools or maybe some strategies. So these people are very strategic. Yeah? They like to monitor technology trends. They are very much about the big picture. They can recognize patterns that are unfolding. And they also are people who are learning very, very fast. Yeah? So can pick up things very fast, and tend to be quite geeky, always like to use the newest gadgets. Yeah? But let's not spend too much time on conceptualizers because there are none here. We move on to the next profile, which are the promoters. Do we have any promoter in Kantar? Okay, you go here. We have Tusita. And do we have promoters in the audience? I think there are 2 or 3 also. Okay, yeah, then can you also stand up, please, our promoters, that we can see you? Good. And you want to share what promoters are all about? You? Good.
I really don't know what it really entails, but I think whatever you do, especially in the women's space now, yeah. Personally for me, I really want to promote what other women do, so uplift them. Yeah. So probably that may be one thing that I'm portraying like that as well. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
Promote.
Good. So promoters are people who are very good at communicating ideas or causes, like you mentioned, to people. Yeah. So they are evangelists who are very good with words, yeah? Who are in a way very witty, who can be entertaining, quite entertaining, yeah, and who have to some extent also star appeal, yeah. And because of that, they promote a new brand or a new product or a new company or a new cause, yeah, and then other people get excited about it, yeah. So they are the best to spread the word about something new, yeah. And they are also good team leaders because they can inspire people to basically then follow them and rally behind a certain cause, yeah. So these are the promoters, and then also big applause for our promoters. Then the next profile is down here, which are organizers. And I think we have some organizers in Kantar. Do we have some organizers in Kantar? No, okay, we don't, but we have quite a lot of organizers also here in the audience. If you are an organizer, can you stand up? Yeah. Thank you. Organizers. Yeah. Quite a few. Good. Wow. Good. So what are organizers all about?
Kind of the person who arranges an event or a program or so on and so forth.
Or managers a hotel.
Yeah.
Good. So organizers are really good in taking care of the details, yeah? And so they focus on operational excellence. They focus also on organizing the back-end services so that everything basically works, yeah? And they are very good in fixing problems. They pay attention to all the small details that need to function, yeah? So that basically then later on everything smoothly works. Yeah? And they do this in a way where they are people-oriented, so they are really much more people-oriented than before our systematizers, but they are also very orderly and focus on that everything works. Yeah? And that's the talent of the organizer. Yeah? So big applause also for our organizers here. Yeah? Then we move on to the next profile, technocrat. And I think we have some technocrats, if I can recall it, from Kanta. Can you come here to this part? Good, yeah. All right. And do we have any technocrats in the audience? There were some, but not sure. Could be that they're only in Kanta, yeah? Good. All right, so what are technocrats all about?
Implementing theories and making sure those things are implemented.
Good. All right, so implementing things also, technocrats are very good with administration, with paperwork, yeah? They are also good with numbers, yeah? They are also good in analyzing legal documents, yeah? And paying attention to basically complying to legal aspects, yeah? And of course, you are in between systems and theories, so you are having also a bit of both of these styles, yeah. And again, these are also people who enjoy dealing generally with paper, yeah, and can work through a lot of papers in a very organized, very diligent way and get things done. You also okay, yeah, action tech, yeah. Good. So these are technocrats. Then we have a coach in Kanta? There's one, yeah, okay. One coach. So you are in between, you are here on this line. You can make sure which, I think your piece was a bit higher, yeah? Good, all right. So, do we have any other coach here? The answer is no, because coaches are very, very rare. So this is like, you're like a unicorn. Oh, we have a unicorn here. And another name for a coach would be a philosopher. So they are like philosophers. Yeah? Ooh. So what is special about coaches?
It's theories and people.
Theories.
Yeah.
So which means you are theoretical in your approach, but you also care for people. You want to improve people. You want to focus on people in your intellectual appeal. Yeah. So coaches, all life is all about developing human potential. Yeah. So these are people who are passionate about improving people and making people better. Yeah. And basically are also good communicators and are able to explain abstract concepts to people so that they can understand it with the intention to make them better. And that's basically a very noble energy. Yeah. And again, these people are very rare. Yeah? They're not very, very infrequent. And so far, we are happy that we have a coach here. Yeah? Good. Last but not least. No, we have two more. Sorry, I was too fast. Yeah? Experimenter. That's the next profile. Experimenter, our profile number 10. Do we have any experimenter in Kanta? You can go to this line here. So you are in between, and I'm not sure which score is higher, I or S? S, I, or can I see? Okay, then you come here, you can go to this side, yeah? Good. And there are quite a number of experimenters in the audience. Can you also stand up, experimenters? Anybody else? There were some experimenters, yeah? Good. And that's interesting also. In Sri Lanka, there are quite a few experimenters. They're also quite rare. They're not as rare as the coaches, but they are not so frequent, yeah? So what are experimenters all about? Anybody wants to share? Experimenters, what is your thing? Okay, then I will tell you. Experimenters are good at making things better by basically following a systematic approach in improving it. Yeah? So they are people who like to look at something that exists already and then think about, how can I make this better? How can I make this process better? How can I make this product better? Yeah? So they look under the motor hood, yeah, and say, oh, this is not really elegant, this doesn't work really well, and then they fix it. Yeah? They're very good in fixing things that already exist. Yeah? So the difference between an experimenter and an ideator is that ideators create something new out of nothing, while experimenters, you improve something that already exists, yeah, and make it better. Yeah? And that's the experimenter style. Yeah? Good, thank you. Big applause for our experimenters also. And now I can come back to my sentence from before. The last profile, which is the all-rounder. Yeah? Do we have any all-rounders here? You can step into the middle. Good, thank you. Good, you go into the middle. And we have also quite a lot of all-rounders in the audience. Can you please stand up? Thank you, our all-rounders. Good. So what are all-rounders all about? Anybody want to share? What is your special thing you want to share? I saw you.
Balancing everything.
Balancing everything. Yeah, it's exactly what you guys are good at. You are good at many things. Yeah, you can balance many activities. Yeah, so life is about juggling many responsibilities in a balanced way. Yeah, and that's something again. All-rounders are broadly interested, broadly skilled, yeah? And they can work on a lot of different things, yeah? And are really quite good at it. Yeah? They may not be as good as some specialists on some activities, like they cannot pitch as good as a promoter can, yeah? Or they are not as organized as an organizer, but they are overall, they are the champion of many, many disciplines. Yeah? And all-rounders always good to have on the team because they are very flexible and they can do a lot of things. They can also work on many different projects, and that's why it's a very useful profile. Yeah? Now remember, all these people who are standing now here in the middle and who are standing here, in another method, you would be boxed into probably the wrong profile. Yeah? You would have often a chance to get out, to have a wrong label on you. But in TIPS, we have this neutral label, and that's something which allows you to basically show your balanced talent to be able to do many things well. Yeah? Good, all right, and you also get an action tag for sharing, yeah, thank you. And that's it, and that's our TIPS map, and we see here that before you leave, so what is your company all about? You can also do a quick pitch again.
Yes, I will. So we are the leading market research agency in Sri Lanka.
A leading market research agency in Sri Lanka, yeah? And what you need to see is in different industries, people have a different position or a bit different profile in the TIPS map, yeah? So here, you are quite quantitative, yeah? You're also market researchers about understanding consumers, yeah? So you also have people who basically are consumer-faced, and there is nobody up here, yeah? Nobody conceptual, and also nobody on the idea side, yeah? If you ask me, and we talk about this later, if you were to recruit one person, I would recommend you to hire one conceptualizer. Also, given these changes with the digital technologies coming along, yeah, that high five. Good. Good. So that's something again. We will talk about this later. Once we understand how people come out, we can analyze the profile map, yeah, and we can also see different people then whether everybody is in the right position, whether everybody is, whether there are some gaps in the company that we can fill. And that's really the value of tips. And we'll talk about this more later on. Yeah? But for now, thank you very much for your volunteering, for helping us to animate the profiles and to populate the tips map. Big applause for all of you. And all of you, of course, get an action tag for this. Yeah? Make sure that you get and collect your action tag on the way out. Yeah? You got it already. Yeah? Good. All right, now we know about the tips profiles in theory, but we want to get a little bit of a feeling about how famous people, how they would profile in tips. And we have a little game, and for this game we need 8 players. Yeah? 8 players. Ideally, people who know about famous people, yeah? 8 players who can come to the front, yeah? And of course, you can win action tags, yeah? Yeah. Anybody wants to volunteer? We need 8. 8. Okay, 1. Thank you. Big applause. Maybe some people from the back. Yeah? Anybody? Maybe we pick people who are very colorful. Yeah? Yeah, like me. Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. I was told there would be many people who would volunteer. Good, thank you. All right, one more. Good, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 2 more. From that side, anybody? Maybe from the back? Yeah? Okay, good. And we maybe need some strong men also to make it more diverse. Okay, good. All right. Good. So what we are doing now, good, we have enough players. Great. Big applause for our players. Yeah. Good. So what we want to do now is, I will show you some famous people. Yeah? Most of them you will know. There's one, maybe or two, that maybe is unsure, yeah? And then we need to say, okay, who is this person? Yeah? And then if you know, one of you knows it, then you can say who is this person, yeah? And then I want you to find the position in the tips map. Maybe you go here, or maybe you go here, or maybe you go in the middle, or maybe you go there, and say, I think this person is here, yeah? Okay? So you vote with your feet where you think what kind of profile this person is, and then we see who wins this round. Yeah? So we have, I think, 8 rounds or so. Yeah? And ready? Everybody understands the game? Good. Then we start with the first person. Okay. Thank you, Albert. Yeah, that was just passion. Yeah, this was pure passion. Yeah? You saw Albert Einstein and then you needed to share it. So where is Albert Einstein? Find your position on the tips map where you think Albert Einstein is. Okay. If you are unsure, okay, you can, yeah, if you can also do your own thinking. Okay, you guys are here? Good. All right. And everybody has a position. Then Albert Einstein, his right position is here. He is a conceptualizer. Yeah? Yeah? And of course, he is a theoretical physicist like you guys. So he was very theoretical. But all his big ideas, like theory of special relativity, he got using his imagination and doing imagination experiment. And he had also a Eureka, where he got the winning idea. So he was a balanced figure and fantasy thinker and was a conceptualizer. Yeah? Good, big applause, and 0 points at the moment, but we continue with the next one. This one, this person. Steve Jobs, okay, you get 1 point, you were the first. And now find your position. This is the Steve Jobs. I need to say this is the young Steve Jobs, yeah? With a Macintosh. Steve Jobs 1980s. Steve Jobs 1980s. Find your position. Okay. Okay, good. And everybody has a position, and Steve Jobs is here. He is an imaginative promoter at that time. Yeah? So the young Steve Jobs, he was a marketing genius, yeah? And he was selling and marketing the computers that Steve Wozniak, his co-founder of Apple, built. Yeah? So he was almost an ideator, but conceptualizer. Yeah? So no point, unfortunately. But we are getting there. You are very close. You're in both cases very close. Yeah? Good. We move on to the next celebrity. And I'm not sure whether you know this one. This one you probably don't know. I need to help you, but I needed to do it. It's an American guy who came originally from Scotland and is roughly 100 years ago, and he moved to America. And his name is, anybody in the audience for an action tag? I think I hear it. Can you say it loud? Andrew? Carnegie, one action tag. Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie, the famous industrialist. So Carnegie Hall, for example, and all these things. He became an industrialist and later became a philanthropist. And where is he on the tips map? Find your position. Find your position. Find your position. Okay, you clear? Okay, good. So you are in the middle. You are here. You are here. Okay, ready? And Andrew Carnegie is a systematizer. He is here. So we need to get some more. So you get, this is our score run rate. So you get 1 Mentos at the moment. And action tags we get later for the winner. Yeah? Good, all right. So next one is this one. Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, you were first. And find your position. Where's Leonardo da Vinci? What do you think? Yeah? Leonardo da Vinci, where would you put him? And then 1 action tag here for the lady in red. She was the first. Leonardo da Vinci. Oh no, sorry, you don't get action tag. You actually get a Mentos. Yeah? So I forgot about this. Yeah? I take the action tag back. I have an action tag too now. Yeah? Good. All right. And the Leonardo da Vinci is an ideator. So 3 mentors here for the people in the corner. Thank you. And the next person is, you can distribute it. Thank you. The next celebrity, this person. Okay, everybody, so fast, yeah. And where do you think Mother Teresa? Okay. Everybody has a position? And Mother Teresa is here. Actually, she is here in between, but she is a popular organizer. Yeah. Yeah, so she has, of course, she has a lot of, was very caring, has a lot of people energy. Yeah. But she was also basically running the show, yeah, and organizing that everything works. And she was working for the Catholic Church, which is a very system-driven organization. So you get mentors. Okay. Good. Then next one. This person. Bill Gates. Correct. Yeah. And what is Bill Gates? Find a position where you think is Bill Gates. Okay. Okay, good. And Bill Gates is... Okay, good. You want to move? Okay, good. And Bill Gates is... Here. He is a conceptualizer, yeah? And, initially he was more theoretical, but now he's very in the middle, so he is also like a big picture person, yeah? Next one is this one. Old Steve Jobs, correct, the old Steve Jobs, yeah? And the old Steve Jobs is different from the young Steve Jobs a little bit. So where do you think he is, the old Steve Jobs? So maybe think what you did before. Okay. Everybody, you go here. Okay, he was, old Steve Jobs was an ideator. So when he was older, he was working with a design team from Apple with Jonathan Ive, yeah, on the, good, and two more. So he was more on the, I think, and you get one, huh? Good. All right, and this person here, Mahatma Gandhi, were you, okay? Okay. Good, all right. Yeah, okay, you can go where you want to go. Then you go here, then. Okay, so Mahatma Gandhi was a coach. He is in between here, yeah? And from his education, he was a lawyer, but then later on, he really focused on convincing people to make this peaceful revolution and inspiring them, yeah? And that's this kind of very noble energy of a philosopher, yeah? So he was a very charismatic man who could talk to millions and convince them of this non-violent protest, and that was basically this coach energy, yeah? And he was in between here, yeah? So I think nobody, were you a coach? No, huh? No, good. I think we have two more. This one, I'm not sure whether you can recognize her. Oprah, okay, Oprah. And where's Oprah? Think about it. What is she all about, yeah? Okay, yeah. Promoters there at the corner, yeah? Okay, strategy is up here, yeah? Okay, and you go in the middle, okay? And good, okay, coach, yeah? Good, so Oprah is, actually all of you get a mentor. So she is like, you could say she is a popular promoter, but she has very strong partner energy, but she also has star appeal. So she is in between this space. So that's why I give all of you mentors. Yeah? So you get 6 mentors. And can you just distribute them among the players? We have this person, Spock. Beam me up. So where you think, where would Mr. Spock come out on the tips map? What is his energy? Mr. Spock. You don't know him, yeah? He is from Star Trek. Yeah? Star Trek, yeah? If you don't know him, then you cannot make a decision, yeah? So, okay, then I share it with you because you don't know him. Sorry for that. I thought you would know him. Mr. Spock is a theorist, yeah? So he has this very rational T energy, yeah? Very, very logical, super logical person, yeah? And this is the style of a theorist. We have this person. Santa Claus. Where is Santa Claus? Where do you think is Santa Claus? Okay, all-rounder maybe? Yeah. Good, all right. Everybody has their position? Okay, you go here. Good. And Santa Claus is an organizer. Yeah? Of course, Santa Claus loves the kids, yeah? But he need to make sure that every present arrives with the right person, yeah? And that's basically being super organized, so you get mentors, yeah? Good. Good. And I think we have one last one, which is this one. Oh, of course, everybody knows him, but where do you think is he? Yeah? What kind of person is he? What kind of tips profile would he come out with? Yeah? Okay. Find a position. Yeah? Okay. Make a move. Yeah? Okay. Okay, everybody found your position? And Donald Trump is, of course, a promoter. He is a promoter. He is very entertaining. He is also somehow is a star, has star appeal, yeah, and wants to be the star, yeah. And he is like a promoter with some kind of sociopathic energy, yeah, some egomanic energy, but he would be a promoter, yeah. Good. Now count the mentors that you have. Count the mentors. How many you have? 4, 5, 3, 2, 2. Good. 5 is the winner. So you get 2 extra action tags. So all of you get 1 action tag for playing. You get 2 extra action tag, and we have 4. Who has 4? I think there were 2 with 4. You get 1 action tag, an additional action tag. Yeah. And big applause for our players. Yeah? And thank you for helping me to animate these profiles. Good. So, in your report also, there's one page where there are some examples. Yeah? And we had our player here with Andrew Carnegie. You're probably a systematizer, and you checked your report. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So that's something where, again, you can get some more information about the different profiles. Good. So what we want to do next is we want to understand how these different profiles and how we can use tips in order to do better talent management in a company. Yeah? And again, we saw this talent management lifecycle, talent planning, acquisition, onboarding, alignment, management, development, performance, leadership, transition, and so on. Yeah? And tips can answer you a lot of questions related to talent management. Yeah? Like talent acquisition, how to hire the right person for an open position. Talent development, who should be trained in what. Conflict management, how to reframe and resolve conflict at work. Growth management, who drives what phase of the business cycle, and so on. Yeah? And the last game, only 8 people could play, but we now play a game where everybody can participate. Yeah? And nobody needs to stand up. You can do this from your seat. Yeah? And all you need to do is you need your hand and you need your thumb, yeah, for this activity. Yeah? Because we are playing the tips hot or not game. Yeah? So I will show you one profile, tips profile, and then I tell you one kind of industry or work environment, and you need to say, is this a hot fit? And then you make thumbs up. Or is this a not? And then you make thumbs down. Yeah? So you can do this for yourself. Yeah? So this is something, unfortunately, we cannot give out action tags for this, but we want to involve everybody. So you can just, for yourself, see how many you get right. Yeah? And let's start with the first profile and the first environment, which is this one. Yeah? We have a theorist lady at the theory space, and a job in multi-level marketing and sales. What do you think? Hot or not? Okay, I see a lot of gestures already. And you're right, it's not. It's not. Good. Then we have a systematizer, gentleman, and a job in a multinational oil company. What do you think? Hot or not? It's hot. It's hot. Yeah? We move on. Promoter lady in the job in a government agency. Hot or not? And it's not. It's not, yeah. We go for the next one. Organizer. And his job is a production plant manager. Hot or not? Hot. It's hot. Then we have an ideator and a job in a bank. Hot or not? It's not. Yeah, it's not the ideal environment for an ideator. Yeah? We have a technocrat and a job in a law firm. Hot or not? What do you think? Hot or not? Technocrat law firm. It's hot. It's hot. We have all-rounder working in a technology startup company. Yeah. What do you think? Hot or not? It's hot. It's hot. Yeah. Conceptualizer working in a consulting company. What do you think? It's hot. The partner working in a healthcare service provider organization, it's, of course, super hot. Yeah, this is hot. Then, theorist working in an economics institute or an economics department. Yeah? That's, of course, hot. Good. We have a promoter working in a public relations agency. What do you think? It's hot. Correct. Yeah, this is hot. Technocrat working in a creative agency. Technocrat, creative agency, what do you think? Hot or not? Not. It's not. Yeah? And I think we have this as the last one. Ideator working in an animation movie startup company. Hot or not? It's hot. Yeah, good. All right, so we skipped the rest because for time reasons, we are a little bit behind. So what? So what can we learn from this? Anybody has some learning for one action tech? What can this little exercise teach us? Anybody want to share something? Dare to share. Hot or not? Okay, I give you the mic.
Task, talent, fit. Task, talent, fit. Task, talent, fit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, task, talent, fit. There's another word that I use, yeah, which go in the same direction, which is I would call it environment or ecosystem talent fit. Yeah. So there is again we need to be aware of what are the things that we like to do. So that's essentially what you mean also. Yeah. And again, this is the quote we saw already before from Albert Einstein. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Yeah? So hot or not is essentially about this kind of thing, what Einstein said. There is, for every profile, there is a certain environment that is clearly a hot environment, and there is also an environment which is clearly a not environment. Yeah? And understanding this is really important. Yeah? So again, we have all our styles, we have all the things that we like to do, we have talents in certain areas, and this is really understanding what kind of industry is really a hot industry for me, what kind of business function is something that goes easy for me, or maybe also what kind of organizational type is something that resonates with my talents, with my styles, and so on. Yeah? And you don't need to have all three of these things correct, but if you have none of it correct, or none of it is optimal, then probably over time you will run into some problems. Yeah? And that's something really interesting to understand. Yeah? So in your report, in your tips reports, there is one section that is also called hot or not. Yeah? And we have here, for every profile, some types of organizations, some industries, some business functions that are hot. Yeah? So for example, we have here promoter profile. And for promoter profile, agencies or also international companies are types of organizations, creative industries, that's where they are really shining, and then also business function, marketing, sales, and so on. Yeah? Advertising, this is for them. But they shouldn't work in administration as a promoter, or they shouldn't work in a government agency, because this is something which is for them too boring. Yeah? So in your report, have a look, yeah? What is your hot environment? Yeah? And this is something I'm personally passionate about, because I was also for many years working in a career that was not really a hot environment for me. And then as I grew up in the hierarchy, there were more and more conflicts, because my style, my energy is just different than the energy in this kind of environment. Yeah? Good. So have a look at this. And again, that's something where we need to see that we have at least one fit. Yeah? Ray Dalio is a famous investor, runs a hedge fund, one of the leading hedge funds, yeah? And he said, remember that people are built very differently, and that different ways of seeing and thinking make people suitable for different jobs. Yeah? So again, we are all different, and that's okay, and we just need to make sure that we align ourselves, and that also that we align the people who work for us in the right role, in the right position that allow them to shine. Good. Now we talk about talent development, and again, in your report, there's also one section which is called assets and liabilities. Yeah? So these are things, assets are things that you are good at, that you come naturally easy for you, and there are also then things that are liabilities that you don't really like to do, or where you are not good at. Yeah? And that's something which you can also take a look at, like here conceptualizers. They're very good at strategy, they're very good in understanding the big picture. They have balanced cognition, they are born problem solvers and concept and tool creators, but they're very bad at dealing with the details. Yeah? Or also not so good in basically politics, people issues, yeah? So that's something they are not really like. Yeah? So, for every profile, here we have the example of the conceptualizer, there are certain things that are what I call EEE for them. EEE stands for easy, effortless, and enjoyable. Yeah? And for them, for example, it's strategy, technology. Yeah? There are certain things that you can do. There are some things that easy to do, but actually not so exciting. And then some things that you rather should not do. Yeah? And on the bottom, like dealing with operations, that's for them DDD. DDD stands for difficult, de-energizing, and drudging. Yeah? So, in tips, we argue that everybody should play on their strengths, should do those things that are EEE, or that they easily can do. Yeah? And that other people take care of things that are DDD for you. Yeah? Now, who are those people that are taking care of those things that are difficult for you, de-energizing, drudging? The answer it's the people who sit on the opposite end of your position on the tips map. Yeah? So for a conceptualizer who is up here, the person who is taking care of the things that they don't want to do is the organizer. Yeah? For a promoter, the complement is the technocrat. Yeah? And so on. Yeah? So for an ideator, it's the systematizer. For a theorist, it's the partner. Yeah? And that's something, again, is interesting to understand. Yeah? So that you should focus on those things that you are good at, and then have other people do those things that you don't like to do, but that they are good at. And then as a team, you can produce really good results. Huh? Good. So it's a bit like yin and yang. Yeah? So we have this kind of dichotomies. Yeah? So where we have yin energy and then we have yang energy there, yeah? Or vice versa. Yeah? Good. We come finally to our talent acquisition exercise, and somehow, where is my paper here? And we come to the results of our staffing game. Yeah? So, what I do is I tell you each card has an equivalent in real life that this person or this description was modeled on. Yeah? And the first one was indeed Mr. Spock. Yeah? This you see here. Then we have here Marissa Mayer who used to be the CEO of Yahoo for many years. She is a conceptualizer. Then, so she is up here. We have, this person is based on Walt Disney. Optimistic fellow, just failed with his business, very vivid imagination, loves to sketch. Yeah? We have here the young Steve Jobs, promoter, self-confident guy, good in sales and marketing. He dropped out of college and went to India for a trip, and that's the young Steve Jobs, and he is a promoter. Yeah? We have, this lady was Oprah Winfrey, based on Oprah Winfrey, and this one is Martha Stewart, who is an example of an organizer, being very organized and having this energy. Yeah? We have here a systematizer, Andrew Carnegie. This one was built on Warren Buffett, this profile. And this one was on a football coach, Pep Guardiola, who is also very philosophical. And then this is an experimenter from Apple, Jonathan Ive. He is here. And then we had one person in the middle, which was a famous decathlete, Olympic champion, world champion several times, Daley Thompson, who represents this kind of all-rounder profile. Yeah? But we had also some people, remember, who I said you should not hire, who are the wrong people. Yeah? And let's introduce them now here. We have this person here, which is modeled on Darth Vader. Yeah? Which was an all-rounder, so Darth Vader. Also, we have this person here, which was based on the Joker from the Batman movies, yeah? Who is all about this creative destruction. Yeah? And then we had this person here, which is from a famous movie, Captain Bligh from Mutiny of the Bounty, yeah? Sailing for king and country. And then this person here is Hannibal Lecter, yeah? Cultured and sophisticated gentleman, mid-40s. Yeah? That's basically the people you should not hire, and that's basically the ones you ideally would have hired. And we had one team which actually hired all the villains, yeah? Which I don't mention the table number, but we had, and in one case you also then put the Joker into the right seat, yeah? And every team had some villains, at least one, yeah? But we have 3 teams who clearly outperformed the rest, yeah? And first runner-up was 15, with a score of 15 out of 22, so it's a very good score, was indeed table number 6. Where's table number 6? Table number 6 tags, you get an action tag. Yeah, good job. And then we have two winners, winners with a score of 16, which is table number 12. Where's table number 12? Good. And table number 14. Where's table number 14? Okay, so you get action tags, and then the next best tables who get no action tags was 7 and 8 with 13. Yeah, that was also a good performance, 7 and 8. Yeah, good. So, was this easy or difficult? It's difficult, yeah? And hiring people is actually really, really tough. It's not easy. And that's something where many companies actually don't do a good job. Yeah? There is a person, Bradford Smart, who wrote this book, Top Grading, and also created a concept to improve hiring. And he did extensive research, and only 25% of people that are hired turn out to be really a top talent. Yeah? So according to his study, the average success rate of hiring somebody who is really a great fit for their job is only 25%, yeah? Which is kind of interesting. Same if you want to promote people, the success rate is also only 25%. Yeah? So you actually were much better in this exercise, most of your team, so you did a better job in hiring these people. Yeah? Now, what you need to know is that if you hire the wrong person and you need to replace them, it's expensive. Yeah? And this is based on US numbers, but that's something where they have for different hierarchy levels, supervisor up to an executive, basically how much of a monthly base salary you need to pay in average, yeah, to basically replace this person. And that's something where, again, looking for ways in order to improve your hiring decisions, that's really something that is key. Yeah? So again, we want to bring the right people onto the bus. Yeah? That's what this is all about. Here, bring the right people onto the bus to occupy the vacant seats. And that's something which, again, according to Peter Drucker, the management guru, is a key competitive advantage for companies who can do this. He said, the ability to make good decisions regarding people represents one of the last reliable sources of competitive advantage, since very few organizations are good at it. Yeah? So, again, bringing on the right people, hiring the right people is something we want to do. And we want to do an activity now where we need to get the flip chart, maybe we put it here, and the pen. And we have two positions that we want to find out what is a good candidate to hire these people. Should I help you? Let me see. Good. All right. So, and the first position is, let's move it a bit down. The first position is a head of, can you make the, yeah? Head of operations in a factory. Yeah? So this is somebody who, we are seeking a competent head of operations with a mechanical engineering background. Selected candidate will coordinate the plant's manufacturing processes and so on. Yeah? Next slide is basically then duties that it will include. Yeah? And then also some skills that we are looking for. Yeah? And that's somebody responsible for a production plant. Yeah? So now we want to find out who is a good person for this position. Yeah? And good. And so this is position again, plant or factory, head of operation. So now we use the 4 tip styles to help us find out who might be a good candidate for this position. Yeah? So head of operations in a plant. The first thing that we need to do is thinking style, where we have analytical thinking or creative thinking. Yeah? So a head of operation in a factory, is this somebody who needs to be more analytical or more creative? Or somewhere in the middle? A little bit of both. What do you think? In the middle? Yeah? For me too. Yeah? So I would put this person here in the middle. Yeah? Then, is this somebody who is very abstract and conceptual and about the big picture? Or is this somebody who is more about operational, being more operational, more about the small pictures? Of course, the name says it already. It's small picture, and it's extremely here on this end, yeah? Okay? Then, head of operations in a factory, is this somebody who is more factual and basically paying attention to the numbers, or is it somebody who is more empathetic and also paying attention to the empathy, yeah? to needs of people, or both, somewhere in between? What do you think? Where would you? Both, yeah? And I would say maybe slightly more factual, but definitely you need to have both. So either you could make it here or here, and I make it here. Yeah? And then the last thing is this somebody who is more procedural, focusing on process? Procedural? Or is this somebody who is more entrepreneurial? Head of operations in a factory? More here, more here? More on this side, yeah? And I would make him maybe at 2. You could also make him at 1, yeah? So the ideal profile for this position, what do you think is? Who would be the ideal tips profile? It's an organizer. Organizer is the ideal profile. And an also can profile would be a systematizer. Yeah? That would be also a potential fit. Yeah? So, and I have this also here on a slide. Yeah? So again, here we say we want to both. Yeah? Then work style is clearly more operational. It's more data-driven and more procedural. And the ideal style is an organizer. And the also can style would be a systematizer. Yeah? Good, let's do another example. Yeah? We have, and I get a different color for this. Do we have a different color, maybe blue or red? Thank you, it's a blue or green. Oh, green or blue, yeah, good, okay. Good, so we have here now National Sales Manager Retail. Yeah? So again, that's the position that we want to staff, yeah? And these are some responsibilities. And, I need to go back. Good, so a National Sales Manager Retail, that's the position we want to look for. Yeah? So is this person more analytical or head of sales and marketing, or is this somebody who is more creative? Where would you put him on the slide? More here or more here? Some people point them more here, so you could say either, so more on the creative side, maybe here or 1. Maybe we make it 1. I think we had 1. Yeah. But it's clearly more on the creative side. Yeah. So national sales manager retail, is this more about big picture, about strategy? Is this more about operations? Is it somewhere in between?
In between.
In between, yeah? It's in between. So maybe we make this somewhere here. Then sales manager, is this more about facts and data, or is it more about empathy and people, marketing and sales?
Both.
Empathy and people, yeah? So this would be somebody here. Yeah? And then last one is the lifestyle. Is this more procedural or is this more flexible? Head of sales, yeah?
Middle.
Or in the middle?
Middle. Middle.
In the middle, maybe, yeah? Because also it's a head of sales for retail, and retail is more, you need to have both aspects, yeah? And again, for me, if I do this, it would look like this, and the ideal profile for this would be, in this case, a partner, and also possibles would be an organizer because of the retail industry and a promoter. Yeah? So which means, this is like a slider. Yeah? So you can look at every position that you have, and then you can ask these questions. Is this where on the scale, is this, where would we position it? Yeah? And then if you look at, put this onto the tips map, it's very easy actually to find out who are the profiles that are a good fit for a vacant position. Yeah? Make sense? Yeah. And that's something which we do with a lot of companies also to give them advice on this. Yeah? And again, Jim Collins says, who built great companies understand that the ultimate throttle on growth for any great company is not the markets or technology or competition or products. It is one thing above all others, the ability to get and keep enough of the right people. Yeah? So we want to make sure that we bring in the right people and that we give them then good compensation, and then they stay on the bus and they basically keep on working for us. Yeah? And good. So from a timing point of view, when do we make the next break?
Shall we continue and take the break at the end?
Pardon me?
Continue and we'll take the break at the end.
We can continue and then we take the next break. Yeah? Good. Next thing that we want to talk about, once we have people in our company, we then, similar like here before with Kanta, we can put people on the tips map. And these are people from my company who are in our team, our extended team. And you see here, we are an innovation creative breakthrough company, so we are very much idea-based driven. Yeah? But we also have some people, organizers, to help us organize events. I have some people here who help me with financials and some legal stuff. Yeah? And of course, we have some all-rounders. But overall, we are a company who is driven more in the upper triangle. Yeah? This is a company which allowed me to use their data. It's run by a friend of mine. And we can also here show the name, because all the names are not real names, these are nicknames. Yeah? So nobody knows who is the real person here. And this is a creative agency in Thailand, yeah? That also we work with continuously on tips. And you see here also that they have a similar profile. And we have here also different teams: business development, client service, creative team, and admin. Yeah? And overall, this company is really well aligned, but there are some people who are misaligned. Yeah? For example, this lady up here in blue, she is she's the office manager, which is actually an organizer job, but she has an ideator profile. Yeah? So what they are now doing is they realized we have nobody who is an organizer who actually can organize our daily work, and they hire now a new office manager who is an organizer. Yeah? They interviewed people, and all the shortlisted people were doing tips, yeah? And then they had one candidate that actually came out as an all-rounder, which was also super talented, who they also hired now to become assistant of the of the managing director, of the founder of this company. Yeah? And actually, this is the founder of this company, and he also recorded a message that I just want to share. It's just 2 minutes sharing his experiences of using this concept to make sure that you have the right people on the team and that you also realign the team so that you have a better performance. Okay, let's go. Can we make this a bit louder? Let me see. Maybe it's my computer. Okay. Oh, sorry, this is not.
It is going to be impossible to build a large business.
So this is not. Do we have a connector? No. Huh? For sound, no, probably. This is normally it should. Normally it should work with this one. Let's. Okay, let's show the subtitles, and I make my microphone, then maybe we can hear it.
As a business owner that is looking to scale, the key thing we need is the right people. It is going to be impossible to build a large business without having the right people in place. Now, what we need to do, and we've tried to follow all of the steps, is build a great culture, have values, a clear vision, hire the right people, getting the right people in the right seat, doing the right thing. The one thing that was missing for us, even though we have a rigorous process of recruiting and looking for the right people, is something we found in Detlef's method, and that was personality. There are a few different personality tests out there, some quite outdated, and some not really relevant for what we need. I think the richness in tips, 9 different
Stopped, yeah. So I'll stop it here. He said the riches and tips is essentially that it allows you really to reflect the different talent types, yeah, and that is something that they use also for recruiting all their people now. And the quality is not so nice, and so I would say we stop it here now. But what I wanted to share also is that we are doing this not only with companies in Asia, and what we could also do is we could distribute to particularly the company teams. Yeah, we have these plans. Yeah, where you could also later on for your company you could actually create a tips map by just writing the names of all of you and the profiles into this map, similar like we did it here. Yeah, and that's something then where. Later on, you get a feeling for all the delegates who are here today, basically where you are, and then also how you would come out. And particularly for smaller companies, it's, I think, an interesting starting exercise. But if you're, of course, a bigger company, like we have Sri Lankan here with many people, that's something, again, where it's maybe not giving so much insights. Yeah? But that's something where, again, looking at these profiles is something where you can, I skip this one, where you can really improve teamwork a lot. Yeah? So this is a company we have worked with extensively over the last years, a company in Switzerland, a leading Swiss energy company, and they have a very interesting dynamics of people who need to work together. Yeah? So in Europe, energy companies, energy is sold in an open market across Europe, and energy is something that needs to be produced, so you cannot store it eventually. So basically, based on the demand, you need to produce the energy that is needed. Yeah? And in order to do this, they have different groups of people who need to work together. They have people who they call modelers, who basically model how likely you need a certain amount of energy at a given amount of time based on the season, based on whether people are on vacation, based on the demand of the industry and so on. So they model energy usage. And you see that those people are more on top of the tips map, theorists, conceptualizers, modelers. Yeah? Then you have people who are trading energy, who are basically buying, selling. Yeah? in the market, and these traders are mostly here, so they have mostly people energy. Yeah? Then they have a group of people who they call dispatchers. Yeah? And dispatchers are the people in the plants who basically make sure that energy is then produced, who are in, let's say, a hydrogenic plant, who are then opening the pipes for the water to flow through and produce the energy. And these are the people who are more operational. And they have a last group of people who are running the numbers, who are documenting everything and basically providing the financial information, and these are the controllers. Yeah? And controllers are either systematizers or technocrats. Yeah? So you see, basically, based on the understanding of the differences, then everybody knew basically how different people come out. So under each layer here is a name. Yeah? And over time, then they also made sure that they brought in more people who had the respective energy so that people could work together. Yeah? And this is the leader of this unit, Chief Analytics Officer from this company, who also allowed me to share this and gave me this testimonial. Axpo is the name of this company. And they say also, TIPS is an ideal challenger in the final hiring decision, establishing whether a profile complements the team in the best way. For me, TIPS is a true enabler of teamwork. Yeah? So that's something where, again, understanding the dynamics and then also seeing how the different teams need to work together is something where TIPS can really help you basically come up with better decisions. Yeah? And so far, as Steve Jobs said, great things in business are never done by one person. They are done by a team of people. And again, making sure that everybody understands each other, that they are respectful to each other and can work together is something where TIPS can help you doing this kind of thing. Yeah? Good, so from a timing point of view, I think it's time for a break, because otherwise your energy goes down too much. Yeah? Is it okay to make a break now? Yeah? Good, so we make a break for 15 minutes, yeah? Because otherwise you guys need to move, yeah? And you need to get some coffee, some tea, some things, yeah? And then we'll do this, yeah? Okay? Okay, so let's continue. And what we want to do next is we want to do another activity here on our TIPS map. And Tusita will introduce, we need again some nominees, some volunteers.
Not volunteers, we are forcing them to come.
Yeah, we volunteer you to come to the front. Okay, Tusita, who is helping?
Okay,
in
so
this
we have chosen one with each profile. So Sanjeev, obviously you're here because you're a coach. Eranti, systematizer. Eranti, are you here? Ramani, where's Ramani? Oops. Nilani, Gayani, Himali Mendis. Is Himali Mendis here? Please come. Archana, Ashika Kasa Chetty. Are you here? Ashika? Please come here. Dushyani Somaratna. Dushyani Somaratna. Are you here? Dushyani?
Good, so what I want you to do is find your position in the TIPS map. So if you're ideator, you need to go up here, technocrat here, systematizer here, and experiment. Yeah, good, you're here. Oh, good, okay. All right, so what we want to talk about now is talent management. Yeah? Do you think everybody wants to be managed in the same way? Yeah? What do you think? Probably not. Yeah? And TIPS can also help you understand that different people require or prefer a different style to be managed. Yeah? And when we say to be managed, it's not only top-down management, but also you can learn how to bottom-up manage your superior if you understand basically how they tick. Yeah? So it's mutual, and that's something which we want to understand now. Yeah? And in order to understand this, how different people want to be managed, we look at the different styles of tips, yeah? And we use the tips map to understand the differences. Yeah? So we have here our different, do we have a theorist?
Can I call them? I just found another one.
Okay.
Yeah. Niranjala Kodituaku. Niranjala?
You're here, you're a promoter, yeah?
Is Niranjala here?
Okay, good, thank you.
And can we also have Aisha Bongzo?
Good, we have everyone, yeah? Good, and then
Except the conceptualizer.
theorist is you. You need to go here, yeah? To the T, yeah? Good, all right. So we start with how the thinking style and how this relates to how we manage people, yeah? So thinking style, we have here our figure thinkers, yeah? And figure oh, sorry, it's on the wrong side, yeah? Figure thinkers, as a manager, you need to know that they like to work more on quantitative projects that involve more analysis, that involve more dealing with numbers, yeah? That's something, let's say if it's a market research company, these are the people who are more into statistics, yeah? Running this kind of things, yeah? So you should, if you have different projects, these people are more quantitative in their style and they are more analytical, they follow a sequential style of thinking, yeah? On the other hand, you guys are more unstructured, you are more creative, yeah? You like to work on projects that are more qualitative in nature, that also maybe involve communicating with people or interacting with them in a qualitative way. Yeah? So again, market research companies, you guys would do interviews or you would do focus groups, yeah, that you then analyze, while you guys would send out surveys that you would then analyze using statistics. Yeah? Yeah? So that's a difference. How you assign work based on different thinking styles to make sure that everybody likes their kind of work. Yeah? Make sense? Yeah? You agree? Good. Okay, good. We move on to the next style, which is the thinking style. Yeah? And thinking style is, work style is brain versus brawn. Yeah? And you are conceptual brain workers who like to be macro-managed, yeah? Which means macro-management means, let's say I'm your manager, I would agree with you, this is what I want you to do, yeah? By this amount of time, yeah? These are the resources that you have, what kind of help do you need from me? Yeah? And once we have agreed on this and we say, okay, you do this within the next 3 months, yeah, then I essentially leave those people alone. Yeah? I tell them, if you want to check in with me, feel free to knock on my door. But what I do not do is that I always, every week, so what is the progress? Can you give me an update? Yeah? What would you think if I would do this? It would be driving you nuts, probably, yeah? You would say, hey, what are you doing? Why do you interfere? Do you think I'm too stupid to do this? Yeah? Yeah? Do you not think, why you want me to do this anyway if you want to do it yourself? Yeah? Yeah? So again, brain people, you want to macro-manage, yeah? You want to basically agree on the big things and then let them do this because they know how to do it. Yeah? Here, the brawn people are slightly different, yeah? Because they are more detail oriented and they prefer, if they have an opportunity, to check in with you as a manager, yeah? So which means you would have an open door policy, yeah? And you would also ask them more frequently for updates, yeah? And they actually appreciate it, and you also have your door open as a manager to basically allow them to come in and ask for advice or give you an update, hey, this is what we have done, is this okay? Yeah? and then they feel more appreciated. Yeah? So again, brain workers micromanage, brain workers micromanage, and people here, you can deal with anything. Yeah? So you are in between. Yeah? Good. All right, then the next style is the interaction style. And interaction style is, here we have our feeling people, yeah? And with feeling people, you basically need to check out always often, how do you feel, how is it going, yeah? So show that you care for them, yeah? And as a manager, you need to be very careful how you voice criticism. Because feeling people, if you criticize them, they think not that you criticize their work, but they think that you criticize them as a person, yeah? So you need to be really careful, and you should always, when you, sometimes you have to give feedback, but you should also always emphasize that they are really valuable, and ask next time, how can I help, or always package it nicely, yeah? And maybe sandwich package that you say something nice, you say something to improve, and then you say again something nice, yeah? So that the people feel appreciated. Yeah? While fact people is different. Yeah? So fact people, you can basically tell them what they want them to improve, they can take it. Yeah? But on the other hand, also, fact people, they will tell you to basically what is wrong. And if you go in, let's say we would do a performance review, and I would not have done my homework, and I wouldn't have my concrete evidence about how you have done, she would take me apart. Huh? Yeah. Correct? Yeah. So you would tell me, oh, this is not true, and so on. So they are basically, you need to do your homework as a manager to gain their respect. If I don't have evidence to support my views, they will not, they might argue back, and I will lose their respect. Yeah? So again, for dealing with fact people, you need to look, someone need to acknowledge what is evidence involved here, and then basically do your homework beforehand, so that you have an intelligent conversation on the same level. Huh? Good. Then last style is the lifestyle. Yeah? And we have form versus flow. And for flow people, they need to have a high degree of freedom. Yeah? So you should not obsess about when they show up at work, yeah? Or that they sometimes do some other things. Yeah? So these people, flow people, they work in, how's it called, in leaps and bursts. Yeah? So which means sometimes they work like crazy for hours on the go if they have like a flow, if they're in a flow state, and then they need to take a break, and they are maybe out for an hour, and you don't see them, and then they come back. Yeah, they're also more flexible. Sometimes they say, okay, I need to go into a coffee shop to get some ideas or so. So they are generally more flexible, and also be forgiving if they are unpunctual, because many times they are more unpunctual. Yeah? On the other hand, with form people, you need to do just the opposite. Yeah? So these are people where you should be punctual. Yeah? So if you are a boss and you come late to a meeting, then they say, oh, what is this? Yeah? He calls for a meeting and he's not showing up. Yeah? So again, people are unhappy about this. Yeah? And that's something also where you basically want to communicate clear structure. They appreciate actually if you have clear times where everybody should be around, yeah, because that's basically what is their preferred style. Yeah? So it's more formal and more punctual, more disciplined. Yeah? And then as a manager, even if you're a flow person, yeah, with these people you need to basically shape up, yeah, and basically do your part, yeah, and try to arrive at arrangements that it works. Yeah? So again, different people want to be managed in a different way, and understanding this is important for a manager, but it's also important for a subordinate, because if you know that if you're a flow person and you know your boss is extreme form, then maybe you can shape up a bit, or you can also have a conversation and can say, hey, this is my style actually, but of course I understand that I need to be punctual for the joint meetings, but maybe on other things we can have a little bit more flexibility, because that's how I produce results. Yeah? So it's then again trying to communicate these differences. Yeah? Good. That's basically what I wanted to share. So again, let's say if we have somebody who is a software coder, how do I manage them? That's typically somebody who has a theorist energy. So there you assign quantitative, the things are more logical in the way that you deal with it. You macro-manage this person, you give them a lot of flexibility, let them work, to do the programming when they want to do it, when they feel up to it. You need to be extremely factual, because those people really expect to be direct and having evidence-based feedback, and they can do both with regards to their feedback. Yeah? Good, and that's basically also when we work with a company, how this would look like, where we map out basically how people come out. Yeah? And here's again names that are just nicknames, so we can share this, and then for a manager also, you know, this is basically how I need to deal with these different people. Yeah? Good. So, last thing that I wanted to discuss, what happens in life? Do we always, are people always managed according to their style? Many times not. Yeah? And what happens if you are a highly talented person and you have a manager, maybe who is not paying attention to you, yeah? And then you might actually, after some time, say, oh, actually, I think I can get a job somewhere else, yeah? And I move to another person, yeah? So many times, people leave companies not because they don't like the company anymore, but because of a conflict with the manager. And that happens particularly if you have somebody who is a very talented person, an A player, yeah? And they are managed by a B or C manager in a way that is then very rigid, yeah, and basically doesn't acknowledge individual differences, and then people leave. Yeah? Yeah? So that's something we need to recognize, and that's also here in this book, War of Talent. Top performers are more likely to leave poor managers than average performing employees across all organizational level, and then again, this is something which costs 1 to 5 to 2 times the employee's annual salary. This is based on some US industries. Yeah? Good. Thank you very much. Big applause for our players. And now we need to do a game again where everybody is involved. Yeah? And that's a really interesting game. But we cannot play this game with 150 plus people. So we will need to have some people then from each team to come to the front. Yeah? And what I want you to first do is that we will break you up into 4 teams. Yeah? We will have one team that is the theories team. Yeah? So everybody who is having the highest score in your tips profile with a T, let's say T20, that's your highest score, then you would be part of the theories teams, and all the theories people would come together maybe here in this space here. We don't have so many theories people, yeah? Very few, yeah, but there are some there, yeah. So you need to check, everybody need to check your score. What is your highest score? Is it T, is it I, is it P, is it S? Yeah? And then if you are an I person, then you go here. We also don't have so many I persons. If you are an I person, you come here to this zone. Then if you are a P person, you go here next to the screens, and the biggest group I think is S. We have a lot of people who have the highest score with S. If you are an S person, you come to the stage. Yeah? You come to the stage. Yeah? So everybody look in your report, what is your highest number? It's on I tell you where it is in page number 5, yeah? So your highest number is, this is 10, 12, 19, this is 25, right? This is 19, oh, you have 19, 19. Good. Then you, okay, if you have same number, you can decide which one you like. Huh? You can pick one. You should go P. Yeah? You should go P. Huh? Because we have not so many P people, we have a lot of S people. Huh? Okay? Good. Everybody knows your score? Number 5, page number 5. Let me see, this is printed in the wrong order. Yeah, so you, yeah. Okay. And one more. So what is this number? The highest number? 18. This is 18? Yes. It's S, yeah? This is S, and you go S, yeah? You're S, yeah? You're P, good. Okay, P people come here. People come here. S people go onto the stage. Yeah, you can come here. So everybody who has highest number P, you come here to this group. This is your group. Come here. Anybody who has I, highest I, you come here. Yeah, you come here. Yeah, good. So you need to stand up. Good. So the I people. Anybody has highest score T? There are some people who have T, like our theorist. You come here. Yeah. Say again. Oh, you have 15, 15, 15. You are getting an extra action tag for me. Yeah. You are Suhura, right? Yeah, because you are the perfect all-rounder. You will get an extra action tag for me. Yeah. So, pardon me. So you can choose, maybe you go to the T team, yeah, because we don't have many T people, yeah? Good, yeah? Suhura join you, yeah? T? Good, S, okay. Gentlemen, how about you? We need to move, huh? So you are T probably also? T, yeah, good, okay. Huh? Good, so, good. T, you go, you can stay here, yeah? Okay. People in the back, you don't want to play. It's okay. If you don't want to go, that's up to you. And I just need to put this away. Good, because otherwise it's dangerous. So we are playing this game here, and it's called the TIPS conflict game. So TIPS conflict game. What you need to know is there is some conflict going on between different tip spaces. Yeah? And that's what we want to understand. Yeah? What is the imminent conflict potential between two different tip spaces? So we have the theory space, we have an idea space, we have a people base, and we have the system space. Yeah? And we see also here not so many T people, not a few more ideas people, but not so many ideas people. Then people quite a few, and so many S people. So Sri Lanka, this group is very systems driven, yeah, which is kind of interesting, and also of course a lot of people driven, and it's more brawn than brain, yeah, here, yeah, from the composition, yeah. In different countries you have also different composition. Let's say in Thailand you would have a lot of I and a lot of P, yeah. That would be also similar in the Philippines. In the Philippines, there's a lot of IP people. Yeah? In Europe, you have a lot of T people. And then also, so there are many more T people in Europe than in Asia so far. And in China, yeah, a lot of people are all around us. Yeah? Yeah, because I think from the education system in China, they say, if a nail stands up, hammer it down. And so there are so many people who have the same profile and are all around us. Yeah, very interesting. So you see really from different countries also there's a different composition coming out. Yeah, Good, but we want to talk about the conflict game, yeah? So what I will do is, I will call now, if we go here, different players from each team into the game zone. So this will be our game zone, yeah? And if you are a T person, you go to this area of the game zone. If you are an I person, you go into this quadrant and this square here. If you're at the moment, you can still stay outside. I call you, yeah? If you are a P person, you go here. And if you are an S person, you go there, yeah? Good. Then I will ask you, what is the conflict potential between two tip spaces? For example, I may say, what is the conflict potential between systems people and theories people, yeah? And then the players that are coming, they need to decide what they are doing, yeah? And then, if they're correct, they get mentors, yeah? And later on, everybody in the group will get some action tag if you win with your group, yeah? Now, for understanding the conflict, we have 4 different cases, yeah? So if we say, we get super well along with them, then we make a heart. Yeah? You make a heart. Everybody who is playing makes a heart. Yeah? Good. If you say, we get along really quite well with these people, yeah? Then you make like this. And you smile. Yeah? Yeah? Good. Then if you say, actually, we quite often have some disagreement with this group, then you make this. You make the crossed arms. Yeah? And if you say, we actually fight quite often with these people, we have a lot of quarrel, a lot of disagreement, you make this. Okay? So we have 4 cases. Yeah? We have the heart. We have this one, we have the crossed arms, and we have the pointed finger, yeah, and the unhappy face, yeah. Good, so that's basically how we are doing this. And I have some selection criteria. For you, you can decide who is going to play, yeah. We don't have so many T people, but all the T people should get involved, yeah. But then for the other teams, you can maybe follow the selection criteria. And first, we want to have from each team somebody who is born in March, or can also be more than one person. Anybody from you guys born in March? Born in March? Born in March? Come on, yeah, don't be shy. I don't believe it, systematizers, yeah, systems group. Yeah? Born in April or February? Anybody born in February or April? Come here. Yeah? Okay, people base, you come here? No? Yeah, good, people base. Yeah? You're born February or February? Me too. Wow, we need to check what date. Maybe we have a birthday on the same date. Yeah? Okay, good. And April, you go here. Good, and then systems, come on. Who is February or... You can be more than one. You can come more than one. You have so many people. I will check your personal, your passport now to find out. Yeah, and you go here. And theories. One from theories. Anybody? Just anybody. Doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah. You go. Yeah. Good. All right. Good. So now we start with the first game. Yeah. How do ideas people and theories people get along? What do you think? You guys can help if you want, yeah? Yeah? How do they get along? Yeah? Okay. You have an idea? So ideas people and theories people, how do they get along? Okay. Everybody has something? I always count down. 3, 2, 1, and go! Make your movement. Make your movement. You know which gesture you would do? Okay, like this. Okay, this is crossed arms. Yeah, crossed arms. Okay, good. Yeah. What is your? No. What is your gesture? How do they get along? Is it hard, or is it like this, or is it maybe crossed arms? Yeah. Crossed arms, like this. Okay, like this. Okay, good. And you make like this. Yeah. Okay. And the correct, you make like this too. Okay, good. So next time we say 1, 2, 3. Okay, now everybody make. Okay, and the correct answer is this one. Yeah. So there is some kind of argument, and you get 1 Mentos. Okay, good. Thank you for your players. You keep us. You need to count how many you get. Now different players. Now we have different players coming. So you are off the hook. Well done. Yeah, thank you. Now we have first name starts with a T or a Z. First name starts with a T or a Z. Okay? T. Okay, good. Z, yeah? You're T. Good. You go here. You go here. Go here. Good. And who wants to play here? T or Z? Nobody? Nobody wants to play with me. That's unbelievable. Good. Good. You go. I'll go. You go here. Okay, good. And P. Anybody come? Anybody wants to go? You can also come together. People never want to come alone. You can come with two people. Yeah. Good. And S. One person from S. Thank you so much. Yeah. Good. Now we want to understand how do we had this before? No, I go here. How do people and ideas people get along with each other? So ideas people. Huh? How do they get along with each other? Okay, everybody make their movement. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good, and the correct gesture is? Oh, thank you. Big applause. Yeah, it was close. Now, next one is has visited more than 10 countries. Who has visited more than 10 countries? Who has visited more than 10 countries? Be brave. Yay. Thank you. Your P. Good. Your I. Yeah. Good. And who has visited more than 10 countries? Good. You can come together also. Yeah. You can be two. Your systems. And then we need one T person. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good. All right. Now, what we do is, how do ideas people and systems people get along with each other? Ideas people and systems people. Yeah? Okay. Okay, good. All right. And the correct answer is this. So you get some mentors for your team, yeah? And you get one mentors, and you get one mentors for your team, yeah? So I can. Good. All right. And the next activity is we have. Who can speak more than 3 languages? Who can speak 2 languages or more? Good, all right. Good, come here. Yeah. Good, you are P? Then anybody from, you guys, where are the guys? Where are the men? Oh, they go. You have highest, no, you have system score, yeah? You have not also system score, yeah, okay. I thought you guys had T, yeah, good, then Maybe, when you play again, you have a chance for another? Oh, you have, oh, sorry, I didn't see you. Ah. Good, all right. So now good, thank you. Now we want to understand how do systems people and people get along with each other. What do you think? Huh? Okay, good. Everybody, you make like this, okay? Good, and the correct gesture is this. Yeah? So you get a point. Yeah? I will tell you later on why this is the case, yeah? But we first want to play 2 or 3 more rounds. Yeah? Thank you so much for our players. Then we have another one. Has worked in the same company for 15 years or more. Has worked in the same company for 15 years or more. Anybody? Wow, this is true loyalty. Good, good, good. Okay. And thank you. Yeah. Good. Now, we want to understand how do theories people get along with each other, with other theories people. How do theories people get along with each other, with other theories people? Yeah? Interesting question. Yeah, you need to. Okay. Everybody ready? 3, 2, 1. Make your move. Okay, you make this. You make this. Okay, you make this. Okay. And the real solution, sorry for you, but it's actually this. And I will explain you later on why. Yeah? Good. Next player round. We have, what is the next one? Has run a marathon or made another race or anything else physical? Maybe we do the next one, yeah? Has birthday on a public holiday or special event? Anybody has birthday? On a special event like Makabucha or yeah. Okay, we make the next one. Has met a celebrity in person. Has met a celebrity in person. Come here. Who has met a celebrity? Can, of course, be a local celebrity. Good. Okay, you play again. Excellent. Yeah. And good. Good. Okay. So who have you met? I probably don't know the person, but maybe I do. Yeah. Sri Lankan. Okay, you meet, of course. Yeah. Then Sri Lankan, you meet a lot. Who have you met? Famous person? Sri Lankan. Okay, good. All right, now, thank you. Now, how do people get along with series people? People with series people. Think about this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You make your move? Okay, good. And the correct answer is this. Yeah, good. All right, big applause. And maybe we stop it here. And I explain you. If you like, you can sit down again, everybody. And which team has the most mentors? How many mentors you have? We have 2. 2. How many mentors the systems? 2. Okay, then we give to all the players who come 1 action tag, because I think there's a tie between 3 teams. Yeah. So all the players who played get an action tag. Yeah, because you had the courage to come, and you can get 2 because you played twice. Yeah. Good. All right. Now, so let me explain. Let me explain what is the logic behind it. Yeah? If you are having the same base, yeah, you have a very low or virtually no conflict, low or no conflict with each other, because you are the same. You have the same styles, essentially. You have the same base energy. And even if you're a theorist, we had the theorists before, you may argue with each other because that's theorist style, but you would say, finally somebody who is smart, with whom I can argue, yeah? with whom I can have a good argument. Yeah? Yeah? Not like the others, they don't understand me. Yeah? Also, yeah. So again, in the same base, everything is the same. Huh? Now, if we go down, let's say between ideas and people and systems and theories, vertically down, there is a low to moderate conflict potential. So there's not much conflict. And where the conflict is, if there's a conflict, it's between different styles of working. Yeah? That, for example, when I was in one university, I had a colleague who was a partner. Yeah? And then one time she came to me and said, hey, can you just quickly do this for me? And I said, I will do this for you tonight, yeah? But now I work on something else, and if I start now doing this, it will break my flow. And she said, oh, it takes you only 5 minutes. And I said, yeah, I will do it tonight. Yeah? You will have it by tomorrow. Yeah? And then she left and was a little bit angry, but the next morning it was okay again. Yeah? So that's difference in the work style. Huh? The conflict potential is higher, so this is this one, yeah? Vertically across, and the reason is a difference in the thinking style. Yeah? So people here think really differently. Yeah? And also from my personal experience, some colleagues at my universities are theorists, yeah? And I'm an ideator. Yeah? And then sometimes they come to me and say, you do this research, but you don't have proof. Yeah? And I say, yeah, but I know how it is, yeah. I know it and I intuitively observe it, and I have done this in many, observed this in many workshops, yeah. But you haven't really deduced it logically, yeah. So we have arguments about how we do research, yeah, because we think in a different way, yeah? And that's causing conflict. Finally, the biggest conflict is vertically across, yeah. And the reason is, on the one hand, 3 out of 4 styles are different if you are vertically across. And also, between the theory space and the people base, as well as the system space and the idea space, these are polar opposites. Yeah? Like the system space, they say, finally everything works. Now your ideas people stay away. You will change it again. You will mess everything up. Yeah? And again, the systems people want to create the perfect systems, and people like to create change. Yeah? And that causes conflict. Yeah? So let's have a quick look at how these different bases look at each other. Yeah? So theories people look at themselves as good people, very precise, thorough thinkers, logical, rational, focused. Yeah? They look at system people as a little bit too rule-bound, mentally stuck, maybe can't think for themselves sometimes. Yeah? They look at ideas people, way too much out of space, no facts or proof, and out of touch with reality. But the biggest issue they have with people, way too sensitive, take things too personal, pushy, and they often invade my personal space. Yeah? And theories people also, if you go to them and you say high five, they will go away. They don't want to be touched. Yeah? So, good. Then, ideas people look at themselves as great people. Yeah? So we are creative, we are risk takers, we challenge things, yeah? And we are innovative. Yeah? They look at the people at the people's base as too friendly, overly personal, too dependent on others. Yeah? They look at the people at the theory space as too factional, too precise, number-oriented, too single-focused, and they say people at the systems base too rigid, too orderly, and always depending on the rules and always insist upon following the rules. Yeah? People, they look at themselves as caring, warm people who are sensitive, who are friendly, who are very giving and easy to be with. Yeah? They look at ideas people maybe a little bit too far out, a little bit crazy, and definitely too independent. They are very independent. Yeah? And they look at systems people too rule-oriented, not so friendly, inflexible, sometimes maybe a bit machine-like. Huh? And they look at the theories people at insensitive, blunt, too logical, too theoretical, uncaring, cold. Yeah? Yeah? And finally, systems people look at themselves as we are reliable, we are loyal, we are orderly, consistent, accurate, right, highly dependable. They look at the theories people as a bit too smart, too argumentative, always improving what already exists and works fine, yeah? Not realistic, a loner. They look at people, they are too sensitive, they are inconsistent, too soft towards other people, can't make their own decisions, they always depend on others to help them making decisions. And definitely biggest issue with the ideas people, they are flighty, they break all the rules, they are unreliable, egotistical, and they are not a company person. And that's basically a summary of this conflicts. Yeah? But what is really important to understand is that conflict and differences is good. Yeah? And we need to reframe this kind of differences as follows. Number one is differences actually enrich life. Yeah? And every tips base, every profile has its value. Yeah? Everybody is okay. Yeah? And the biggest thing, the biggest point that I want to make is the one number 4, that those people that are the most different, they complement each other. Yeah? They cover each other's bases, they cover each other's weaknesses. Yeah? And that's really important to understand. Yeah? It's good that we have these differences in a company. We know sometimes we have a different style, we might have some conflicts, but ultimately we need people with different energies to do different things. Yeah? And those people that are most different from my own styles are the ones who are doing those things and are good at those things that I don't want to do. Yeah? And that's important to understand. Good. This one we skip probably for time reasons. We are a bit behind time. Good. You want to see everything? You want to see it? Okay, good then. This one you want to see that. Okay, good. Oh, sorry, I need to go forward again. So if you are okay, we can also make a bit longer, yeah, if everybody is happy with it. So what I also, this one you want me to explain, yeah? And it's actually an interesting topic. Who drives what phase of the business cycle, yeah? So a company grows along a company life cycle, yeah? Where we have different phases, and I like to compare this to the 4 seasons, yeah? So first, a company, you get started, you make a product, yeah? You develop a product, and you are like in spring energy, yeah? And then you launch the product and you start selling it, you build a team to push sales, you grow, and it's like summer. Then at some point in time, you grow so fast that you have problems keeping the quality consistent, and you need to basically structure the back office and become more operationally sound. And eventually you might maybe make an initial public offering, you become a big corporations, and then you move into winter, into the systems phase, where basically you are for many, many years continue being a big player, but eventually also every company dies. Yeah? And that's the life cycle of a business. How does this relate to tips? Yeah? It starts at the idea space, where ideas people basically use maybe a new technology and then create a new product and start a new company and get things started. So again, 0 to 1. Yeah? Then you need to carry it into the market, and the best people to create attention for it are promoters. Yeah? Promoters are great at spreading the word, yeah? And that's the second phase. And then you start selling. Yeah? And again, the people who are great at selling and at also serving customers are the people, yeah? The people's base. And then you start growing more and more, and everything grows. You grow so fast that you need to get organized, yeah? And you need to organize the back end to ensure consistent customer service, and that's basically an organizer game. And then eventually you become a big corporations, and then the systems people move in and basically formalize everything, make all the processes efficient, create stable systems, and that's basically the systematizing phase. There's a final thing that you can do is that you start to multiply by having different variations of a product, by going into different markets, and maybe serving different customer segments. And that's a game of experimenter to basically improve and multiply something that already exists. Yeah? And eventually, you come at a phase where you need to make a decision. Either we continue what we're doing, and for many years that might work out, but eventually you might face creative destruction, or you need to make a change. Yeah? Now, you may ask the question, well, how about the theories people? Where are they? And the answer is they basically provide know-how and input at all phases. So they initially might help coming up with a new technology, some new know-how that leads to the launch of a new product. They also, of course, marketing, sales, and so on, provide a lot of information here, and then they carry all the financial, legal, and also operational back end of the company. Yeah? So they are there all the time, but they are not actively driving things. Yeah? The drivers are here. Which means, again, if you are in a different phase of your business, if you grow very fast, the key person who should run the agenda at this time is a COO who is basically making sure that you get organized and that you ensure a consistent quality. Yeah? On the other hand, if you just launched a product, then the best person to create attention for it and to promote your business is a promoter. Yeah? So again, different people add value at different point in time, and so this is essentially where we are now. Yeah? And at the moment, we are at the beginning of a new long wave. The sixth wave is starting. And if you continue as a big corporation not to change, not to reinvent what you're doing, you are eventually going down. But every company has the opportunity to start a new cycle. Yeah? And you start the new cycle by bringing in ideas people, maybe have a separate company for them, yeah, to work on something new, have the people here continue generating revenues to keep everything going, but then really renovating by starting a new cycle and then doing it again. Yeah? So again, in the next 25 years, there will be a new cycle for coming up, and I would encourage every company to think about how can we maybe upgrade what we're doing, how can we renovate what we're doing, how can we keep up with these new changes that are coming along. It's really important. And then again, how can we use the people that we have already in this renovation, in this initiative? Maybe also what are new people that we need to bring in to create some fresh blood infusion into our organization. Yeah? And that's something which is again how TIPS basically plays across these cycles. And we are again here, yeah, at the beginning of the sixth wave. I always, let's say we are here, I say we are now in the year 1993. Yeah? But this next wave will be much, much faster, so things will develop very, very fast. Yeah? Good, so we need to reinvent, and TIPS is something which I created originally as a tool for innovation. Yeah? And later on, so for me it was really identifying the creative types and then also answering questions like what's everybody's style to innovate, who makes disruptive innovation happen, who shines when in an innovation project, and so on. And we want to play a little game now, yeah, at the table. So we need our helpers again. So there is a number So 1, 2, we can just distribute, it doesn't matter the number. So what you, good, thank you. So what we are now playing is a game that can show you that everybody can actually contribute in innovation. If you have an innovation project, people with a certain tips profile, they can all contribute, but they may contribute using different things or doing different things, taking care of a different part of the innovation project. And that's something which we want to understand by playing a game. Yeah? So you will get 24 small cards, yeah? And 12 cards that you see here are the tips profiles, plus there is one extra profile, which is a fun profile, yeah? To make it a little bit more fun. And here we have 12 activities that need to be done in an innovation project, yeah? Or 11 activities plus one fun activity. Yeah? And what you need to do is you need to find the matching pair. Yeah? Let's say here, this one, and then this one. Yeah? So you need to match the different cards. Yeah? If you have all 12 later on correct, yeah, and you judge this on an honor basis, yeah, you get, of course, an action tag with your team. Yeah? But if we want to see then, if you have 11 correct, we can also, or 10 correct, we can also see whether you get an action tag. So distribute the cards, yeah, and then you need to find the matching pair. Okay? There is, so can I show you? Good, okay. So you put all these things on the table. Huh? So, and then these are the ones, these are the profiles, ideator, theorist, there's a fun profile, so you separate them here, and these are the activities, yeah? So you put this below each other, and maybe we can have the camera show what I'm doing. So this is one here, we don't have enough space. These tables are so messy, unbelievable. Good, all right, so. Good, and. Good, and then we put this here. So now, seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's one missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Good. So now you need to see which are matching. Okay. Yeah. Good. All right. Yeah.
The best person to check for numbers on the assumptions related to the innovation.
You're clear how to do it? Yes, you're clear. Okay, good. Just checking. You know how to do it. Okay. So we put this one are the profiles. Yeah. So we need to put them like you see here in one row. Yeah. And then this one are the others. You can also put it vertical if you like. Yeah. Yeah. So you can put all of these here and then all the others below. And then you need to find the matching pairs. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you can make all of them. Yeah. Okay. You guys need help or you are clear? Yeah. So these are all the profiles. Yeah? So we need to separate them. Yeah? Good. All right. Yeah. And then these are all the activities. Yeah. So you need to find now for this one what is the matching activity. Yeah. Okay. 1 for 1. Yeah. Good. You guys are on track? You know what to do? Okay, good. Excellent. Big applause. Okay, you are on track. Yeah, good.
The best person to roll up that is the doer,
Okay, you are on track? Okay, you're on track too? Yeah, good.
The best person to work hard and contribute makeup factor. The best person to roll up sleeves and get hands on rapid protocol systems.
Okay, wow, you're already well on the way. Huh? You are fast, huh?
The best person to run an idea activation project and manage the project team. Coach and naked index. Manage the project team. The best person to work hard and contribute technical. Best person to take theory and the best person to run an idea activation project and manage the project team. What's it? Manage the team, no? Yeah. Promoter. The best person to convincingly pitch a top idea. Correct? Theorist. The best person to explore politically
You
or
okay?
philosophically questions related to an innovation.
Yeah,
challenge,
you're doing it right. Yeah, so you find the one pair that is best. Yeah, yeah, okay, great. Thank you.
Systemizer, the best person to check for numbers or assumptions related to the innovation case. Systemizer. The best
Okay. Yeah, we'll. I give you some mentors, yeah? Okay, you're. Yeah, yeah. Pardon me?
You must see if it's correct.
We will make a debrief. We make 2 more minutes, yeah? So here are some mentors. Yeah. Yay, thank you.
We are finished, right? We are done. Done.
By the way, you get an.
We are done.
Good, you're done, yeah? You need to get an extra action tag because you have 15, 15, 15, 15, yeah? You're the perfect all-rounder, the first that I had, yeah? Yeah, very good, yeah?
We have done it.
Good, all right, so maybe finish, you're done? Okay, good, I make a debrief and then you can check whether you are correct, yeah? Okay, everybody ready?
Yes.
Most of you are ready? Ready? Good, all right, so then... Good, let's see. This is the thing, yeah? The best person to critique an idea concept and tell you what's wrong with it is the systematizer. Okay. The best person to run an idea activation project and manage the project team is the organizer. The best person to explore anthropological or philosophical questions related to an innovation challenge is the coach. The best person to check on numbers or assumptions related to the innovation case is the technocrat. Okay. The best person to do secondary research on the innovation case and check on perceived facts is the theorist. The best person to work hard and contribute to any activity of the innovation project is an all-rounder. Up here, the best person to take credit for everything and that goes right and gives blame for everything going wrong is the Donald, which is of course some fun thing. It's based on somebody whose name is Donald. Yeah? Then the best person to roll up the sleeves and get hands-on in a rapid prototyping exercise is the experimenter. The best person to come up with bold ideas that push boundaries is the ideator. The best person to convincingly pitch a top idea to key supporters is the promoter. The best person to give advice on new technologies and trends related to the challenge is the conceptualizer. And the best person to consult on customers' needs, wants, and dreams is, of course, the partner. Good. So anybody has 10 right or more? Anybody has 10 right or more? How many you have? 10? Or how much you have? You had quite a lot? 10. For 10 you can also give an action tag to them. Anybody else has 10? 10. They also get an action tag. You have 11. Wow, because so you guys are the winner, yeah? And you can give them also action tag, yeah? This one, yeah? And you guys can get an action tag too, yeah? Because 10 is also double digit, yeah? Good. Good. The last thing that we want to discuss, and then we have a final activity, is what's your preferred style to innovate? Yeah? And I've run over 200 innovation projects with companies, and over the last close to 2 decades. And what I noticed is that some people are more private and like to work alone. Yeah? So they are like to work alone. So these are solo workers. We have then on the other hand, people who always want to work together with others in a team, or at least with a buddy. So these are team workers. And then we have some people who are solo team who can do both, who are quite flexible. Yeah? And I show you, this is how it looks like in real life. Yeah? So this is clearly a solo worker. This one is a solo team. And this one are clearly people who like to work in a team. Yeah? Then is also Warren Buffett. Yeah? He is more of a solo worker, while our other guinea pig, Walt Disney, he is a case of solo team. Yeah? So Mickey Mouse, he got alone while on a train ride, the idea for Mickey Mouse, while he was also always working with his team on cartoons, yeah, and doing both, yeah, doing solo team. Yeah? Good. Then a second thing that we look at is how much change do different people want. Yeah? And some people like a little bit change. They want to make things incrementally better. Yeah? And we call these people adapters. Yeah? On the other hand, we have people who really want to push for bold change, and these are the innovators. And then we have people in between who more follow an evolutionary innovation approach, making things slightly better, but not too much, not too disruptive. And these are adapter innovators. Yeah? And again, Warren Buffett is somebody who is an adapter. He, over many years, made his investment rules better and better by working consistently every week and every month. Yeah? And then over time, he became the biggest investor of all, while Walt Disney is an innovator who was pushing for big, bold change, yeah? And dreaming about, for example, looking at an orange grove in California and seeing this is where Disney World will emerge one day, yeah? And then he created it. Yeah? So we have this kind of combinations, and we use this to decide. So Warren Buffett, he is a solo adapter, while Walt Disney is a solo team innovator. Yeah? And that's basically linking to the style to innovate. Different profiles have a different style to innovate. So conceptualizers are solo innovators. Ideators are solo team innovators. Promoters are team innovators. Yeah. Then partners are solo team innovators. They are team adapter innovators. So they want to work together with others in a team. That's for them most important. Yeah? Organizers are team adapters. Systematizers are solo team adapters. So they are flexible, working alone, working in a team, but they are more adaptive, more incremental in their efforts to improve things. Technocrats, solo adapters, and then theorists are solo adapter innovators. And the others are in the middle. They are basically a combination of all of these things. Solo, team, adapter, innovators. Yeah? So that's the innovation style that different people have. And again, we had this already. Walt Disney is a solo team innovator. Warren Buffett, solo adapter. Yeah? Good. The final activity that I want before we go home, and before we do also an award ceremony, is I give you 5 minutes at your table to have a conversation about what you have learned today. Yeah? And if you say, I haven't learned anything, then I have failed. Yeah? But I think all of you have some learnings that you want to take away. So have some discussion. Also, maybe if you are here in a company group, yeah, then also think about maybe how can we use this in our company. Yeah? Have a conversation, and then we have time maybe for 2 or 3 tables also to briefly share some things. Yeah? And if you want to share, of course, what your table discussed, then we can also give you an action tag, a final action tag, before we have the final count. Yeah? Good. All right. Good. So for time reasons, we want to close also, because you might also want to have some other activities. But we want to give maybe 2 or 3 people to share what you have discussed, and then maybe also something you take away. Anybody who wants to share? Anybody wants to share? Okay. Good.
They're like delegating me.
The delegate, I noticed this.
Delegators in my team.
Yeah,
anyway.
but you get an action tag, an additional action tag. Yeah, so far it's good.
Basically, I think all of us really agree that this is quite a very broad-minded tool than the other tools that we have been exposed to before. And also in your life cycle also, in your age, as you age. You also, personally for me, because as an engineer, I am a more analytical-minded, left-brain person. But now, when I did it now, I realize I'm more on the softer part, like more into the, the right brain. So, I mean, that also is something that we need to understand, because externalities matter, different contextualized situations have to be looked at. So that's another thing that we need to look at, because you're not forever in one box.
Okay.
So that is something that we learned.
Good.
And another important thing is now, since we are either working for a company and in our board in Women's Chamber, so some of us are only here. So if we can get this profile done for the rest of the people who couldn't come, so that we are better aware how to deal with them.
Good, yeah.
Right? So that is something, and maybe you can do another session, paid program later on.
Right.
Later on, we can get you there. I'm sure there will be more people who will be willing to do it. But thank you for doing this for us.
Good. Thank you so much for sharing. And anybody else? Maybe one more person? You want to share? Or because you have also from your company. No?
Yes. So thank you once again, Dr. D. It was a very engaging session. Just like Gaini said, we've been exposed to tools, but I guess those are more, I guess, broader in terms of, say, extrovert or an introvert, but this is much more granular, and it gives more clarity to identify the real personality traits on the job. And I mean, when you really read through these, it gives more clarity and better, I would say, guidance to understand where the person would fit best. So I think that will be quite useful in our work, day-to-day work. Thank you.
Thank you so much also for this feedback. And with this, we are, I would say, coming to an end. And what we now need to do is we need to decide who has most of the points, most of the action tags that you have accumulated. So everybody count how many action tags you have created. And then anybody who has 5 or more action tags, raise your hand. Okay, 5 or more. So anybody who has 8 or more? Yeah. Anybody 7? Who has 7? Anybody 7? Anybody 6? Who has 5? Can you raise again? Okay, so we have, can you come to the front with 5? Yeah. I think 3 people. Yeah. Can you give me the yellow bag? The yellow bag has the books. Huh? Okay, good. So you are the winners. Yeah. Well. Yeah, good. Okay, you can come to the stage and then you get 1 book. Yeah. Yeah. Good. So this is for you. Congratulations. Thank you. This is for you. Yeah. And thank you also. Congratulations. Yeah. And you volunteered. Yeah. That was the decisive one. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Good. So maybe we show it. Yeah, and then, yay, you can. We go to the stage. Yeah. And yeah. That's good. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, thank you. We'll take one more, like this. Okay, thank you. Wow. Wow. Good, thank you. Good, and that's it, essentially. Yeah, good, yeah. So we have on the way out, I have a final giveaway for you, which is, if you like, I brought along some of our magical Thinkergy pencils. Yeah. So at Thinkergy, we know how to wow, and we use special pencils that give you very magical ideas. They are, of course, in orange. And if you like, pass by to Sita, and we have to help us to share our pencils as a reminder of this session today. Yeah. If you want to stay in contact with me, you can find me on LinkedIn, or you can also check out the Thinkergy website. Yeah? And I will also try to connect with you from my end on LinkedIn so that we can stay in contact. And also, if Samotosita is helping me, if you want to reach out to me either through email, through LinkedIn, or through Tusita, to maybe that we can help you more with tips, with basically optimizing the talent side of your business. That's it from me, and thanks again for having me today. I really enjoyed coming here to Colombo, and really enjoyed this day today. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. D. That was a very exciting and eventful session, actually. I think you kept everybody on their toes and you got everything going, because it was like the death zone when you started, right? But you kept it going so very well. And we learned quite a lot. Thank you so much, Dr. D.
Thank you.
It was an amazing experience. May I invite our chairperson, Gayani D. Alvis, to present a token of appreciation to Dr. D now, please.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Thanks again, Dr. D. We have come to the end of today's session, but we have an important task to perform, so please don't leave the room right now. May I invite Sarah Samoon, board member WCIC and the co-chair of the event, to share the closing remarks. Over to you, Sarah.
Wow. I know you're waiting for me to finish so you can quickly go, but that was amazing. So distinguished guests, esteemed speakers from before and now, and the valued participants. As we conclude this inspiring Women's Leadership Forum, I stand here with immense gratitude for everyone who contributed to making this event really remarkable. First and foremost, our deepest thanks to our strategic partner, Countess Shakuntala Schott, for her profound commitment to women's economic independence and the future of our children. We sincerely thank our support partners, Saheli Creations, our banking partner, Hatton National Bank, and our media partner, Daily FT, for believing in our vision. To our keynote speaker, Mr. Manosekaram, his insights on entrepreneurship and challenging the status quo was really enlightening. And I think we need to thank him for reminding us that creativity does not come if you don't challenge, and that leadership is without titles. A very special appreciation to Attorney at Law Shamali Ratnaraja for her comprehensive analysis of C-190 and showing us that this is about creating safe workplaces for everyone. A sincere thanks also to our passionate panelists, Nilanthi Ranasinghe and Bani Chandrasena. Their insights on bystander intervention and the importance of speaking up were truly powerful. And of course, our special gratitude extends to Dr. D, who traveled all the way here to introduce us to this really important TIPS innovation profiling. It was an immersive learning experience, something really valuable, a tool that I personally also would love to get my team on. and also he made it fun. I encourage everyone to explore, the ones that didn't win the book, to get his Unleash Wow book, because it does offer very valuable insights in creative leadership, innovative business development, and effective problem-solving techniques. I thank the Galadari Hotel, AU Entertainment as always, for audiovisual support, and Pro Media for capturing these moments. To WCIC CEO Chitandali and the chamber team, Pirusha, Archana, and Pulsara, your dedication makes everything possible. And of course, my sincere thanks to my co-chair, Tusita Kumara Kulasingham, for all her hard work and for putting this entire program together today. She deserves a huge hand. And of course, to the support for WCIC Chairperson Gaini Dialvis and our board members for their support, and of course, Nilani Seniratna for being our compere today and keeping us on our agenda. Thank you.